and welcome to Generation Shadow, the epic supernatural saga that takes you through the entirety of horror history, one nightmare at a time. Today's nightmare is a whole new arc of nightmares. London, 1888. We are in the heart of Victorian London, the first episode of 5, continuing our travel through history. We've gone forward in time. It's the Victorian age, but everything's still horrible.
Big jump.
Still full of monsters. And in this episode entitled The Proper Red Stuff,
actual Gothic era,
we are going to see all kinds of monsters. So, let's go around and meet 4 of them. I guess only 2 of them are really monsters. But I mean, aren't
Debatable.
I mean, isn't man the greatest monster of all? So
no,
let's
it's
meet...
vampires, actually.
Diabetes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, diabetes is pretty bad. Also vampires.
Hey, ghosts are
Diabetes
a
is the
natural
real monster.
part of the life cycle.
That's true. Ghosts, yeah. So, more or less. So let's go around. I want to know who you are, who your character is. We got some recurring characters, some descendants of former characters, which is very cool. Mm-hmm. And then, when it's your turn, why don't we go ahead and do the opening moves, where you let me know, or actually, I want everybody to hear the other characters, so we'll go back and do the who do you trust least after everyone's been introduced. But I do want to know, on your character sheet, one of the great things about Urban Shadows is that you start out, your character is like already kind of plugged into the world. There's none of this like, who are they? Do I know them? And like awkwardly introducing yourself, or like, you all meet in a tavern. You know, there's none of that. You all know each other already, and you know some of the other NPCs. So you'll find out some of them will owe you. You'll owe some of them. So let's talk about that as well as we meet your characters. So, Marvin, start with you.
All right.
Wait, so we're doing the session intro moves after we've all introduced each other.
Yeah, I think that's probably best. That was like,
Introduced each other.
because some of them, you know,
Yeah.
you might want to like know more about
Do you
everybody
want-
before you say who you trust the least.
Do you want me to hold off on my wolf moves until then, too?
Yes, that'll be our final thing before we
And are we
Oh.
doing
get
deaths?
started.
Don't forget those.
Oh.
And are we doing deaths?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So tell me who you are, who you're playing, who you owe, who owes you.
All right. So, hi, I'm Marvin, and I'm going to be playing a recurring character, Captain Diego Wensley, a Spectre ghost pirate. So, from his last game, he recovered his ship, the Sanguine Tide. He was made captain of it, and for the past 200 years, he and his crew have just been sailing the Atlantic. But they've discovered a problem. Undeath is not all it's cracked up to be. At all.
Who would have guessed?
And now they're just suffering an existential crisis. They cannot touch, they cannot taste, they cannot smell, they can't enjoy all of the basic necessities of life and the enjoyments of life. And some of them are going kind of, well, not mad, but, well, I'm not so sure our PCs are the only ones that can be corrupted now, can they?
Oh, interesting.
No, we don't give shit.
Well, trapped in the doldrums of undeath. Not a good place to be. So, currently, you guys are kind of serving Ordo Sanguis, one of the 4 factions that we have inhabiting Victorian London.
They're like the best bet we've got so far right now.
I think so. They're very much plugged into that world of ghosts, werewolves, and vampires.
Even
so
if we have to work
they
with
know the
Claggett
supernatural pretty
again.
well. Yeah. Kind of I mean, you don't always get along with your coworkers, so. Speaking of which, who in this Victorian London world owes you, and who do you owe?
Right, so Depths, someone or someone's progenitor was involved in your death. Well, the only one that
Yeah,
I know
I'm
for
thinking
certain is Claggett. And no,
Yeah.
I'm never going to let that go with him. Screw that guy.
I think
seriously,
so.
right?
Vendettas, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he basically, like, back during the golden age of piracy, you guys were just tearing up the high seas a little too much, and when he wanted to be safe for shipping, you were still there, so you had to go, so he arranged it. Yeah, so...
I guess he's still kind of guilty.
In the
It is.
Yes.
A lot, actually. Still.
At this point, it's like the golden age of piracy is done.
Was it ever?
But there's still pirates
Speedboats and
around.
machine guns.
I mean,
Yeah.
Scurvy's pretty hot.
All right. Are there any other debts you want to discuss
Two more.
here?
Someone is watching out for a family member of yours. Well, it's not really a family member by blood, but my ship, the Sanguine Tide, and her crew, that is my family.
Right.
And the Headless Queen is currently watching out for us. Well,
Yeah,
taking
that
us
makes
in
sense.
as we try to find out how to pass on.
Yes. So the Headless Queen, the six-fingered lady, is the ruler of Ordo Sanguis.
We are also terrified of her.
Yeah, for good reason.
Rightly so.
She's like a crazy lich queen that has been ruling. I mean, you gotta have a certain kind of have a certain kind of personality to stay on top of all the spooky things in England for like centuries, and she's been doing it. So, not one to mess with for sure.
I am also haunting someone, and they know it. And I think, as we hashed it out, that's going to be Isolde.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So we're all in the same flat.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned
Being
he could...
human.
I'm the only one who's human.
Oh, wow, it actually is being human, isn't it?
Well, once he's a vampire.
I don't know, we're not quite there. We need
Or
a
she,
vampire.
I should say.
She's fine.
But no, Isolde promised, well, he said he could help us out with passing on and everything.
I'm trying my
He
best.
hasn't actually delivered, so I'm here to make sure he delivers.
It's been like 2 months. It's been like 2 months.
2 months, mate. 2 months.
Look, you've been
And you
around.
got nothing
You've been
for
around
us.
for like 200 years. You can wait 2 more months.
Yeah, right?
Still.
Occasionally I write
Takes
blood on the
time.
wall.
Chilling your
I'll be like,
Hurry up!
hurry!
Jeez. I've never met a more needy ghost.
A needful spirit. All right, next. Or anything else you want to add to that, Captain Wensley?
Nothing else, but I am technically, well, I am the head of a body of ghosts, the Sanguine Tide, and I found
Right.
out that is my link now.
Ooh, okay.
So if it's ever in danger, I have access to all of my corruption moves. But if it's ever
Whoa.
destroyed, that's it.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Permanently.
Very intense.
Destroying a ghost ship.
Whoa. Well, let's go from ghost ship to werewolf noblewoman, sort of. Meaning Cat.
Hi, I'm Kat,
Right.
and I am playing Dame Roxanne de Forest of the Equestrian Order of the Holy Sepulchre of Jerusalem. I was born in the country to Randolph de Forest, Lord of Eskdale, and yes, Queen Victoria took quite a shine to me when I was a little cub and brought me back to the court, where I've been ever since. Unlike some werewolves, I transform every night, and it is not pleasant. No, and Isolde knows about that because we are in fact flatmates, and
Yes.
apparently there's now also a ghost freeloading on.
I mean, he doesn't stay with us, I think. I don't know, honestly. He
I-
sometimes appears and sometimes he leaves.
I'll
seems-
scratch in the mirror.
Could you not? That's expensive. It costs money.
He spins the chore wheel.
I mean, if he's doing things on the chore wheel, I've got no issues.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Completely.
Yes, I work for the Nemean Club with Sir Titus II, who was a close friend of mine since my childhood. Sort of one of the people that introduced him to the idea of there being a supernatural, so I, take a little credit for that. Helped him out in the Boer War. Has the Boer War happened?
No, not quite. But trust me, there's so many wars you could have helped him out
I
with.
helped him out a bit in India. That was fun. But now we're back. And,
Yeah, Anglo-Afghan War, one of like the 10 of them.
Oh, there were some fascinating rare creatures in India, by the way. Ah,
really?
you're so tigers.
White tigers? That's awesome.
Yes. So at any rate, there were rumors. I never saw one of were elephants as well. I know, but I definitely ran into a were tiger or two, let me tell you. At any rate, let's see. So as I transform every night, when battling in groups, I fight as a small group myself. I cannot resist the change when it comes, and it comes every bloody night, and it's quite painful. I live in Whitechapel. I am viewed as a defender of the neighborhood. So my territory spans several blocks, and I'm widely accepted as the protector, as that I'm quite a good friend with most of the ladies of the night. Someone powerful is trying to move into my territory, which is Lord Quincy Claggett, because of course. He was an enemy of my grandmama, by the way. And we are being plagued by something called Jack the Ripper, so that is not pleasant.
No, it isn't.
He's made a lot of ghosts in this neighborhood.
So,
I know.
as far as debts, someone is hiding me from someone or something powerful. That is Sir Titus Tew. Someone hired me for a job, and I loused it up.
Ooh.
And that would be Queen Victoria.
Oh no.
She trusted me, and we did not do terribly well in India. So, at any rate, so where are tigers? You don't.
No.
They're very
I
powerful.
get it. You have to justify anything to me.
And their carving, it was just a mess. At any rate, someone lives in my territory, benefiting from my protection. That is Mad Molly Montclair. She and I have made a bit of a truce with each other in regards to this Ripper fellow. Let's see. I do also know the good Dr. Pierce Livingstone, as that he has worked with Dr. Henry Jekyll, who has run experiments on me. Something about the nature of violence or some poppycock. And yes, and I'm very good friends with Dorian Gray, who I've introduced you to because he is belongs to that esoteric order you were so very interested in.
I know Sir Dorian Gray.
He's quite lovely. Have you had intercourse with him?
No, I have not.
I recommend it highly.
I will keep that in mind.
He's an experienced fellow.
I'm sure he is.
He does not mind either form. He wanted to do it in between once. That was weird.
Oh, man.
Very uncomfortable.
I'm very uncomfortable at the moment, actually.
So I should say real quick, just to make sure everybody's on the same on the same page here. In Urban Shadows, there's like 4 factions that kind of control London, and Kat was talking about a few of them, or 2 of them got mentioned, or actually, 3 of them or so. The Nemean Club, which is mortality, which is a sort of powerful gentleman's club, kind of a hierarchical organization that handles the secret business of the British Empire.
Yes, they don't usually allow women in it, but on the other hand, I'm also a monster, so...
Yes, they'll make some exceptions.
They made a bit of an exception there.
The other one that she mentioned is the Esoteric Temple of Thoth, which is a organization of sort of seekers and delvers into the occult with a decidedly Egyptian theme. They're interested in plumbing the marvels of the universe, and I think one of our next characters might be a member of them.
Dorian's especially interested in plumbing.
Oh yeah, he all kinds of stuff he's interested in too. And Dorian Gray is
Yes, I know.
And Dorian Gray
Made this joke many times.
just the perfect roommate, huh?
Yes.
And she sheds too, I bet. Ooh.
I mean, not too much.
I'm usually out of the house when I'm shedding, so...
Alright, well that's good. But let's meet...
And when I turn back into a human, the hair retracts back into...
It doesn't just like fall out.
Oh,
It doesn't
yeah,
just fall out.
That's
not like
That'd be a
giant...
mess.
Can you imagine?
It'd be awful
Yeah,
every
I mean-
night.
to be a werewolf and on top of that.
We would have
Clean it up.
we would have kind of like straw flooring except
And
made
this
of
is before
your
vacuum
hair.
cleaners were
It'd be kind of
invented.
gross.
I mean,
Dallas!
I have a lot of hair.
Alright.
Let's meet a third member of our crew here. It's all good. Go ahead, Dallas.
Hey, I'm Dallas. I'm playing Piers Livingstone. And Piers is a tobacconist by trade, but he's formerly a battlefield medic and a quartermaster. His shop is called Livingstone's. You should stop by sometime. Fine tobacco's. He's most accomplished in his ability to cease fire between the great battle of the mortals and non-mortals. But the new members don't see the way the old members do, so he's sort of out as far as that goes.
Okay, it's kind of an old timer.
Yes.
Called back into it.
But still very capable on his own. He's ill, and he's very worried about how long he has left.
Ooh,
And he's got a lot of projects to finish.
living stones.
Have you had sex with Dorian Gray?
Perhaps. But I think I would remember that.
Has anyone ever been like Dr. Livingston, I presume? I bet you get a lot of that. Probably very annoying.
We'll see.
So are there any? A lot of people who think they're clever in Victorian London, I'm sure, greet you that way. So are there any? So what debts do you have?
So first off, in owing, I I would owe Samuel Singh Bahadur the honorable Hassalat, saving my butt many a times out on the field or in any kind of field work.
He's an absolutely lovely fellow.
Yes, to the
Yes.
T, does
He
the
is
job
Samuel
every time.
Singh Bahadur, which means like great warrior. You don't have to call him that every time. Just Samuel Singh or Mr. Singh or Samuel is fine. Sam to his friend, mate. No, I think he's a Samuel. But he is also a member of the Nemean Club. They all have little cat ranks, with the Grand Lion, Sir Thomas II, being the highest.
And then debts owed to me would be Dr. Henry Jekyll for training and knowledge in his potion creation, because I'm a bit of a herbologist myself.
That makes sense.
Bio
Dr. Jekyll knows a
creator.
few people here.
Yeah, I have a regulated
I really just
growing
know
environment.
him.
So
Never met the guy.
Oh, well, he's very nice.
you guys
Nice
can
guy.
see that later.
He seems
Professor Rufus Crumbles owes me one
Yeah.
for working on some magic here. And then Assault Buffet for Asylum and also some gear as well.
Okay. Professor Rufus Crumbles is a member of the Esoteric Temple of Thoth.
Is that the power factor?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah, these are magicians and wizards who are all about plumbing the depths. Oh, I did this again. I said this before. We had a whole
That
great
reminds me, I
plumbing
forgot to mention
conversation.
that we're flatmates because our families know each other from a very long
Yes.
time back.
Yes, you guys are actually playing the descendants of some of your characters from previous games, so that's
Indeed,
very
yes.
cool. So, speaking of which, Livingston, we're all good there? Any other?
Does that mean you're living under the same roof as everyone else, too?
Probably not.
No,
I
not
mean,
all
he
roommates.
just knows her.
He's more well established.
I
than
probably
me.
have an apartment above my tobacco shop, and then my workshop. My workshop is like
Yeah.
underground.
Gotcha.
My character's just outside.
He's just always, he's the, I don't know, the Kramer who's always stopping by to visit. You know, popping in there.
More like we're popping into his place more than anything else.
Yeah, that seems more likely. Livingston.
Livingston, I presume. Get it?
And after
Very
that,
exciting.
the
Hello.
grand, our joking wizard, Isolt.
Yes, I am Isolt Lefebvre. I am the granddaughter of a character I played in one of our one-shots, Adamar Lefebvre, who also had a burning hatred for the French monarchy with, please remind me,
Lavelle.
Lavelle.
Yeah, Lavelle de la Forêt.
Yes,
We've
he...
changed it to Forest since we became
Anglicized.
Excellent. Yeah, let's see. Yes, I'm playing the wizard, so my main spells are elementalism, shielding, so I can give buffs to our players, as well as veil, so I can turn myself invisible.
Oh, very cool.
For
Can you turn others invisible as well?
only myself.
The Invisible Woman.
Still awesome.
I won't make myself invisible.
It's a very nice thing to do.
Yes.
I think that would come in very handy.
It's come in handy, especially in some tougher positions that I found myself in. But yes,
So I
I'm...
remember Dorian wanted me to do a very strange position.
Let's not speak of this. Trying to think of what else to introduce my character. So, my debts, I owe Professor Rufus Crumbles a debt. I owe him a debt. He keeps my demons at bay, mainly because I, during my experimentation with magic, touched a realm that I was not supposed to be interfering with. And, yeah, I've been marked by something. Not sure what it is, and it keeps me up at night.
no.
It's not great, so my character's a little twitchy. Their sanity's a little more fragile.
Hurry up.
Yeah, this is not great at all. This doesn't help.
Is he the thing that you connect
No.
with?
No.
Oh, something worse.
Something else.
I just
I'll
do
tell
it
you
to
what
be
keeps
annoying.
me up at night.
I'm sure you know what keeps you up at night. But yes, I'm part of the power family.
Touched by a demon.
I'm not saying touched by a demon, touched by something otherworldly.
Okay.
Um,
By something.
Then also, the Temple of Thoth owes me a debt, as I'm a member and I'm keeping their secrets as best as one can. And I also owe Piers Livingston here a debt. They are my go-to person when I'm in trouble for basically everything. I'm new to London. I just came across the pawn from America
Oh, okay.
the past couple of months.
Oh, cool.
To just
So
kind
so
explore where my grandfather came from and where his line descended.
That makes sense. Well, always good to have a Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yes.
There.
I just realized that to be annoyingly British, we should all be calling it the Order of Thoth.
Thoth.
Oh
Thoth.
man, I've been calling it Toth all this time.
I mean, Thoth is the right way of
Yeah.
saying it, but the British wouldn't say it that way.
Oh, all right.
Because
I
they're
said
posh
Temple of Toth
bastards.
is the alliteration. Erg. And also it's like wisdom god. I figured.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll debate
No.
that matter.
No, you can pronounce it the correct way. They say Don Juan in England.
Oh,
for
come
instance.
on, English. Speak it properly,
Yeah.
please.
They are speaking it properly.
And I've heard,
They're speaking it the English way. It's in the English language.
and I heard they call lieutenants lieutenants. Like, come on.
And
Lieutenant?
sexual. And there's aluminium.
Oh my God.
Why do Americans leave out the I? It's very strange.
Two countries divided by a common language. All right.
A common language.
Yeah.
But I also have a sanctum. That's part of my character ability. It is a mobile research laboratory that's inside of a beat up carriage that I purchased with most of my funds when I came to this place, and I've enchanted it so that's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. It's warded against intrusion. Full of old tomes, as well as my extremely knowledgeable assistants, a hunted doll possessed by a spirit of knowledge.
So that's your canine. Am I your companion?
Yeah, yours a very doctor.
I didn't even realize this was making a character, but now it's kind of turning that way.
Right.
Who is Does your haunted doll have a name?
I don't. It has never told me what to call it. I just kind of call it you there, and it's okay with that because it doesn't want to tell me its name for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Interesting. Haunted doll with no name.
Yeah,
A doll with no name.
the doll with no name. You there.
I call it Elspeth.
It also has
nameless doll.
it also has a focus circle in it, and as part of me touching another realm and being slightly mad because of it, my sanctum attracts the attention of other worlds, and it almost always lacks a key piece or ingredient. Almost always.
Well, you can always swing by the tobacconist, so pick up what you need there.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always money at the tobacconist.
There's always money at the tobacconist stand.
Well, let's begin.
My tobacconist is filled with eels.
Ooh. Well, let's begin our Victorian London adventure. We are going to start in the Nemean Club itself. All four of you have been called to a special meeting by Sir Titus II himself.
Did you still want us to do this session?
Oh,
Yes,
right. I totally
this
forgot.
intro.
Yes. Also, there's a special wolf move that you do at the very beginning.
I do.
So let's have that before we get into the story.
Oh, okay. You want me to do the wolf move before we do the session intro? I can do that.
Oh, right. I totally forgot the session intro. My mistake. Okay, hold off on the wolf move. Let's go around and do this. Yeah, whenever I say wolf, we gotta do a howl.
Oh!
Werewolves in London. So now I want to know this.
Oh!
Amongst this group of miscreants, who do you trust the least? Let's start with Assault over there.
The ghost Diego. They're literally annoying me, and I'm just like, why are they so keen on dying? They're already dead.
Dying again! The
Sorry.
true death!
Also wonders why it's so hard to get rid of ghosts.
All right.
Don't trust them.
So you were gonna...
Hey, don't
I'm
trust
not sure if
you
we were able to do
until
this
you
last
deliver.
time. We can do it now, though. So you were gonna roll his faction, which is
Night.
Nice.
Knights, yes.
Oh boy, that's a 4.
Okay, you still got to mark it, though.
Yeah.
In Urban Shadows, you level up once you interact with all four factions. So that's actually a pretty good thing. Good way to start. Next up, we have... Wait, why am I doing this? We already know your name. Livingston. Who do you trust the least?
Trust the least. Man, I want to pick one of the ghosts, but seriously.
It's okay.
I've
I'm
had
also
business-
going to
I've
say
had-
the ghost.
Oh,
I've
He's,
man.
he's the new
Everybody-
person to a
I'm
group
a
of...
new person.
Sorry,
That
Go
makes
for it.
sense.
sorry.
I could build trust with you, but yes.
But no,
Okay,
go
I mean,
for it.
ghosts can be kind of untrustworthy. All right,
Yeah.
so give it...
Only
So,
because it's so supernatural, like, and yeah, he's outside of my normal.
so give Knights a roll, because you don't...
For now.
The rumors you learn will necessarily be about... How we do
No.
that? All right, just mark it. Let's move
You're
on.
less than me.
My
You
true
learn nothing
nature
about night.
confounds you all.
Oh my god, we're just like, why is this ghost here?
So we're gonna go through all these, and then we'll come back to the wolf, and then finally get to the story.
Right.
Okay.
Who do you trust the least, Roxanne?
It's yeah.
All right. Roll night. I'm sorry about this. Well, at least they're all failing.
We
All
matched.
right, Mark Knight. Mark Knight.
I don't know anything about this ghost, but he's bloody annoying.
It really is annoying. Oh my
I
god.
genuinely have
This
no
was
idea. I
perfect.
have just the right amount at night.
This is perfect.
Captain
I-
Wensley.
Maybe the problems I can help.
Who do you trust the
To be
least?
honest.
We all know who doesn't trust you. It's everybody. But who don't you trust?
Alright. Well, especially, I technically live with the both of you.
Technically, we can still distrust us. You're a ghost. You're dead. What are we gonna do to you?
But
You can
as
just trust
for
your roommates.
everyone, it's not untrust, I just don't know you that much.
Ah, that's fair.
So it's gonna be Pierce for this.
All
You've seen
right,
him
so
come by the
roll
flag.
mortality.
Yeah.
Roll mortality. I forgot, is it 2 or just 1?
Hey, roll both. And then add your.
All of us have
give
been.
him-
Oh,
They rolled double
Wow,
sixes?
yeah.
Double
sixes.
six.
Double
12.
six.
Oh man, awesome.
Nice roll.
He knows
Okay.
what was popped before.
So
we
mark
did.
mortality.
Yeah. Well, I already had it marked from last game.
Ooh, all right. Well, so you can keep it there. I mean, I think because you're a recurring character, you can kind of keep the same marks and you still level up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
if that's alright with you.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
it would work then anyways.
So I'm trying to think of because we haven't really played too much. So I don't know if you want to come up. Is there a rumor that you would kind of like to put into play, or do you want me to think of one? Because you haven't really, because you might not be super familiar with the plot and characters so far.
Rumor.
you could just tie it in with wherever this story is going, because it sounds like we're starting right off with mortality.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Maybe let me know there's something you want to learn more about later on, and we'll can bring that up.
Okay.
Maybe some perusing when no one's looking.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're the invisible ghost, you can be like,
And they're all
Here, some
mortal
secret
anyway.
documents.
None
Yeah.
of them can see me.
All right, I'll do my wolf move.
Doesn't
I
light
couldn't
me up
hear
to
you.
being trustworthy as
Wolf move.
Wolf move comes with the territory. If you are actively patrolling your territory at the start of the game, roll on blood, and we'll see what happens. Yay! That is
Yeah, that's
11. So,
nice.
Yeah. So on a 10 plus, your territory is secure. Trouble is at a minimum, and I take you +1 ongoing to hit the streets in Whitechapel.
Ooh, very cool.
Excellent.
Whitechapel is the kind of a particularly nasty set of slums.
Yes, I'm known as the Wolf of Whitechapel.
Ah.
People do tend to notice a 7-foot-tall wolf monster wandering about.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I had to become friends with everyone, so they wouldn't
Oh,
go,
yeah,
"Oh,
when-
it's a horrible wolf monster, kill it all the time." I mean, that
Oh, it's
didn't-
Roxanne. Killer, anyways.
Yes.
Well, from the street urchins to the opium fiends, they all know
Oh,
Roxanne.
it's Roxanne. She's a wolf killer.
Well, I'll tell you, one group did try, and it did not go well.
I'm sure it did.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you ran to like the old nickel mob or something and just tore them to shreds.
I do
So-
fight like a small gang.
I've seen you fight. It's terrifying. I was running the other way.
Ooh. So, let us begin in the drawing room of the Nemean, or the drawing, like the smoking room of the Nemean Club. I mean, they smoke all over, but this one is particularly for smoking. It's a very smoky room, extremely well furnished. Lots of like fancy crushed velvet armchairs and furniture everywhere.
Is it day or night?
It's like early evening, so night is. I mean, it's always pretty dim in London, but it's coming. Night's on the way.
It is.
Okay, it's not here, it's on the way.
Yes, it's
Okay,
dusk.
then I seem very nervous.
I'm also nervous, but not because of that, but just in general. My character's nervous.
I'm dressed impeccably calm.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I'm
waiting
sure,
for
I'm
the
sure you're
show.
wearing like a bespoke Savile Row kind of outfit here. And the audience who you brought in to meet is Sir Thomas II, as well as Lord Quincy Claggett. I know. Lord Claggett, they might have advertised that he'd be there, but when you are brought in by Sergeant Jackie Tiger Brown, who is one of the many cat's paws of the Nemean Club, you do find Sir Thomas II, you do find Lord Quincy Claggett relaxing in an armchair, sipping from a glass of something red that is definitely not wine.
It's blood.
Yeah, yes. And Samuel Singh Bahadur, the Ocelot, who's kind of one of the upper enforcers in the Nemean Club, is also there as a guard.
And I say, "Good evening, old chap." And I'd like to say, "Old friends, old favors." When I first encountered an NPC.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure you're pretty familiar with everybody in this room, having served with Samuel Singh, and also having served probably even alongside Sir Thomas, or at least followed his commands in the field. So is this a move you have?
Yeah, it's like the one I get off the bat. It's old friends, old favors. It's instead of putting a face to a name, I just I call him out as an old friend.
Okay.
And it says roll with mind. On a hit, they offer me comfort and aid.
All right.
Even if it exposes them to something.
That can be helpful.
And it's bad if it's... Yes.
All right, let's give it a roll. And this is you can mark mortality for this too, I think.
That's bad. That's two threes in a row. That's
Oh,
pretty
man.
bad.
Well, great start.
Yep.
You still get to mark mortality.
So, who is here? It's the Tiger Brown brought us in.
Yes.
Mr. Singh is here. Claggett's sitting in a chair.
And also Sir Thomas is there. Sir Titus too.
Titus,
is there too.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel slightly more comfortable.
Okay, so is there any result for the failure there?
Yeah. Sir Titus... That's who we're talking to, right?
Yes, but you rolled for Singh.
Oh, yeah. So, basically, he wants me dead.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
What did you do?
Yep, I would say that
Maybe you
because
did
I owe him 2 debts and I haven't maybe stopped by to do something that was
Is
in
it
his favor.
as intense as he wants you dead, or he just has no regard for you?
It literally says, "Tell the MC why they want you dead."
Oh man, okay, never mind. Samuel Singh, who is a tall, lean Sikh fellow, so he's got the beard and
This is where it gets
turban.
interesting. Right off
He gives you a death glare, and is like, "Livingston Sahib, it has been a very long time indeed.
Yes, I know.
Why does he want you
I
dead?
would think you would have the good sense to keep away from my presence."
Oh, Mr. Singh, you know that none of us really have much of an option about being here right now.
We're kind
Pressing-
of called here.
This is certainly not the time of day that I would normally be showing up anywhere. It is so hot.
Sir Titus says, "Easy there, my boy. Easy, easy. I brought him in for a reason. Cool your famous temper, if you would."
I would like to roll Investigate a Place of Power to try to figure out why on earth Quincy Claggett is here, what the
That's fair.
Nemean Club would. So I'm rolling on the Place of Power that we're in, which is the Nemean Club.
Yes, but to
Why-
ask that question about
yes,
Sir Quincy Claggett.
why on earth would Claggett be
Can I
here?
lend a hand? Because I would love to find out. Too.
Yes, let's have you roll, and you can actually mark. You mark
I'm
her
knight.
faction, so mark knight,
Yeah.
and then roll and see how you do with that.
Knight
Oh,
8.
get an 8.
Nice.
So I get an additional
+1. That is correct. As well as rolling. No, still not enough though.
That just brings it up to 6.
Okay, you still get to mark mortality at least, so that's something. But so you're not. Yeah,
Not
you.
rolling gangbusters.
No.
Yeah. Hey, well, so you do not know why Lord Claggett is there. Lord Claggett has kind of shed his foppish outfits that he wore in centuries past. He is now wearing a nice all black striped waistcoat, trousers, and a big top coat, and he has a top hat. He is still a lean, hairless, very pale.
Is he bald?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
I mean, he wore a wig last time, but now
That's
he's got.
true.
This dude-
Imagine luscious locks.
I
Dude's
thought
got no
last
hair.
time we saw him, he was wearing.
He looks like he's a very thin finger.
He's a vampire.
Yeah.
Claggett, to what do we? Oh my god, I can't even insult somebody right now.
Why are you here, Claggett?
So, are you breaking cover to do this? I mean, Lord Claggett already knew you were there.
Yeah, so might as well. I'll concentrate to be heard and seen.
Lord Claggett says, "Believe me, my dear, is it Captain Wensley now?
Captain
so,
Diego.
so hard to keep track. Believe me, it is against my wishes as well, but necessity dictates, and so here I am." And Sir Titus says, quite. I'm afraid circumstances have made strange bedfellows and all that. Sir Titus, he's a powerfully built gentleman.
As
He's got
you-
humongous sideburns.
As you know,
Big old mutton chops.
As you know, Sir Titus, I'm always terribly indebted to you, and then hear a loud crack from one of her shoulder blades.
That's not the begin.
Oh boy.
Sir Titus says, "Oh, perhaps we shouldn't have called you here at this hour. Do you require restraining?"
I don't attack anybody. I just...
Some
Evening
privacy,
is not...
perhaps?
The twilight is not my best time, nor is the dawn.
Ooh, and from the doorway, you can hear Sergeant Jackie Tiger Brown. Tiger Brown just going like, "I could chain her up if you'd like. Wouldn't mind
Now,
it."
does that mean it's necessary at all?
That would be excruciatingly painful to be chained.
Mr. Forrest, are the nightcaps helping at all? Are the nightcaps helping at all?
Oh, the
in
tinctures
reducing-
and whatnot. In
Can I channel
reducing the
magic?
pain?
Let's see if let's finish the little conversation real quick.
For the moment, if you could take a spare dose just to tide us over.
Okay, I mean, they don't really stop the transformation.
No,
it just
I-
makes it hurt less.
Okay, so he gives you some
May help you.
little some chemical components to help make it down a little bit, and I think also LeFay wants to try something.
Yes, I'm gonna channel magic. I'm in the situation, kind of just feeling stressed. I grab this little amulet I have around my neck. I just kind of whisper to it. That's not bad. That's 9.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, yeah, I'll do this. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take a corruption point.
Ooh, right off the bat.
Yeah. This kind of you hear the whispers are kind of at the for only 1 second, just kind of sourceless. So yeah, I just have some. I hold 3 now. It's like okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so you
you
can
were
like cast a
transfer-
spell to delay your transformation, or
No. This is for me. Like I don't like the situation
oh,
that
I
I'm
see.
in.
You're just kind of powering up.
Yeah, so I can
All
turn
right.
invisible.
Well, it's not night just yet. It's just like dusk.
Well, I know, the dusk is the worst time for her. That's
Oh,
when the
great! Oh, that's when the transformation happens.
starts.
All right, well,
And
Well,
it takes
well-
a long time and it hurts.
all right. Sir Titus says, "I understand your circumstance. I understand, and I'll try and make this quick, but it
I
was
mean,
rather."
this is really the pre-transformation. I'm held together right now.
It was rather imperative that we invite you because it concerns your stomping grounds, my dear.
Whitechapel. Yes.
Yes, I'm sure all of you know about the specter haunting Whitechapel, Jack the Ripper, as he's called himself.
Yes. Is there any,
Well familiar.
is there any
Actually-
sort of lead yet on that? Oh my God.
Sir Titus says, "Well, that's the thing. Lately, previously, it's been certain elements of the Metropolitan Police and the constables have investigated, but to little effect. We think that the Ripper is one of our kind. There is something supernatural about him, and so the Nemean Club has decided to take measures to bring him in. Hence, bringing you all here."
So I know that some individuals are trying to spread the lie that Queen Victoria has anything to do with this, which I don't appreciate.
Oh, that's baseless assertions.
Of course.
It's disgraceful.
God save the Queen.
Yes, God save the
God save the Queen.
God bless America.
Get nothing on autograph.
Yeah, the pirate just doesn't like whatever.
Sorry, I'm an American.
And Lord Claggett says, "It has even brought me out of the shadows. The women that the Ripper is ripping, many of them belong to Ordo Sanguis. It's our blood he's spilling, and we need it stopped. In fact, I'm going to ask you to visit a friend of mine down there. You may know her, Mad Molly Montclair.
Very well aware of Mad Molly. We have reached a bit of a truce with each other.
Ah, well, please, go and find her and talk to her. You'll find her at the Happy Hound Dance Hall. Or the Happy Hound Music Hall.
Yes, of course.
A rather, loathsome establishment that she happens to run, advertising music and dancing and, but low character. It's one step up from a gin palace, if you ask me. Anyway, go there and find her and see what she can tell you. She knows Whitechapel very well. She knew some of the victims, and she may hold the key to bringing Saucy Jack to justice. And
So you called us in to tell me to talk to somebody I talked to, baby.
well, I wanted to enlist.
The rest of us as well.
Indeed.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Sir Titus says, you shall do a grand service to the Empire, to the Queen, and to the cause of humanity, saving the lives of those who would otherwise perish under this butcher's knife. So as you guys are perhaps getting ready to leave, one second, I want one thing to happen real quick. Tiger Brown says, like, getting a right freak show then, aren't you, to go down there and investigate. If you want, you ought to have me along with them.
And you aren't a freak yourself?
I'm a policeman, Mr. Ghost.
Yeah.
Well,
By definition, that is my kind of freak.
Ooh. Oh, man. Yeah, he does not like that.
Well, so... you... Sergeant Brown,
Yeah?
do you plan on doing a bit better than you did in India?
You want to talk about my record? I've got nothing but pride with what I've done.
Quite. Perhaps if you were less focused on intimidating the locals and more on doing your job.
Well, perhaps they are one and the same in my book. And you can see Bahadur is getting, Singh is a little bit upset at that, for sure. But he's like keeping in check. He kind of has to.
Well,
I think we best move on.
Yes, I don't think that any of us want to be taking a silver bullet to the back this evening. Tiger!
Ooh, so
Ooh.
Tiger Brown wants to go with you. Are you guys going to try and dissuade him, or ask Sir Titus or Singh to
We don't
stop
need him. Let's say leave him.
don't doubt your professional training, but it isn't police work, and perhaps would be best with the city.
Okay.
We shall venture when
Let's
we
be
need to
honest. The prostitutes aren't going to talk to a policeman.
The general rule, they don't trust the bodies. For some
He's like,
strange reason.
Good job.
he's like, what makes you think I'll give him a choice? I think you're trying to roll persuade over here.
If I can.
Yeah, Livingston, give it a roll.
Can I,
You're kind of trying to reason with him a bit. You want to?
Can I assist?
yeah.
This is.
Wait.
Persuade is to roll hearts.
No, why don't you assist?
He doesn't want to do lend a hand.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you roll in the hand, roll his faction, roll mortality.
Because it... Yeah.
How we do with that?
5.
Okay, you don't help, but doesn't hurt though. It never hurts to
tried.
help.
Oh
Never-
my god!
How we do?
Dude, your dice are cursed.
Please.
Your dice are
Wow.
cursed.
Oh man, they just switch out those dice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing it. He's gonna go with you.
I was thinking
You gotta
I was
find somebody to
first,
get
but
rid of
my-
him
my
or
wolf
have him
rules
along.
was really good.
So he will follow you out and start this. Maybe you all pile into a handsome cab, maybe a little crowded there, but you manage it and head over to Whitechapel. Oh yeah.
I have-
Unless you want to do something, you want to go somewhere and transform here.
I have my own.
Oh, you're taking
I
your
would
character.
really rather be in her wagon. She says, it's like her hands are useless because they're midway between werewolf hands and human hands right now.
Open the door. I get her inside. There's ample room inside. If you'd like to join us, I guess.
No, you shouldn't invite him in.
Maybe we'll move at a slow pace.
No, invite him in. I mean,
Tiger
we don't
Brown's
have
like,
enough
I'm not exactly a vampire. I don't need to be invited to go somewhere.
No, but it is her private property, and as a conqueror, you should appreciate that.
Well, there's private and then there's private, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you
don't
mean,
know
but
what you
I
It means I'm
assume.
going with you then.
God, this really isn't America.
What made you think it was in the first place?
I mean, it's England, America. They're kind of
No,
of the same
they're not
origin,
the same.
in a way.
Diego dispensing some knowledge and the difference between these two great countries. So are you letting, he's going to try and get into the wagon to go with you.
It's Warden. Good luck.
Alright, you just going to let the magic knock him
By
out?
the way, when
We're
Can
gonna
I
knock-
distract him to see if he actually does get knocked out?
I
is it automatic?
think the wording is that when he steps inside the carriage, he's just in a regular carriage with none of us in there.
Ooh, okay,
So
cool.
it's
Do you need to roll for this, or the
No,
words just
it's
take
my
care
magical.
of it?
It's magical word. It's part of my
Oh,
sanctum.
very cool, okay.
when the
I'm
game...
the one, by the way, we're going to step in here. Unfortunately, you'll be joining us just in your own way. You're not going to enter my sanctum, but you can be in the carriage.
Can I go in now?
Yes, go
before
ahead,
I
go,
ruin
please,
my
please.
outfit?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think you would probably be the first in.
Yes, yes.
All right, so
It's a very private space for me. I don't let just anybody in there. Obviously, she's about to transform into a wolf, and we can't have that walking around the streets.
So Tiger Brown pops in, and then I guess pops out.
I guess the rest of you guys can go on then, unless someone wants to join me in the carriage with Tiger Brown.
I would assume you guys.
I'm not going to enter my own sanctum. I'm letting her go in there and transform.
And you probably let your ghost friend and your
Well, I
Bacchus
mean,
friend.
somebody needs to keep Mr. Brown company, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna
I will also join Mr. Brown as well.
Okay, so I'm the only one in the sanctum.
Yeah, you're the only
so
person in
I've
the
got some
sanctum.
privacy.
Okay,
Some
Livingston,
privacy for you.
you're waiting for a transform and
Please-
popping
please
into.
don't-
Just
Sorry,
say if she
Michelle.
prefers privacy,
Yeah.
then I'll leave her be. Otherwise,
Dr. Jekyll has actually asked you to get some blood samples from her mid-transformation.
Okay, then I guess I'll step inside. I'll be back in a brief moment. Sorry.
Okay, so let's kind of cut ahead a
If you
bit.
don't
So
mind.
these wards,
Concerning.
they put Sergeant Tiger Brown, who is like a broad-shouldered, hulking. He's got the Bobby's uniform,
Just in a regular-
massive mustache.
Just in the regular carriage, the warden keeps people who... It doesn't stop people from entering the carriage, it just stops them from entering my sanctum.
Oh, I see. So he's just like in a carriage.
Yeah, he's just in a carriage with, I guess, Livingston, you're joining him, correct? Or who's joining him? Just Diego?
You and
you three are riding.
Well, I'm apparently getting... Who's getting the blood
And I'll
samples?
Dr.
Okay,
Livingston
yeah.
is doing the
I'm gonna
blood
work-
samples because he
Yeah.
works with Dr. Jekyll.
Okay.
And Dr. Jekyll is very curious about her.
Okay, yeah. Then, yeah, you two can enter and I'll be in the carriage with Tiger Brown, with Sergeant Brown.
All right, so you head over to Whitechapel. Sergeant Brown is singing some barrack room ballads the whole way.
I'm gonna mess him up.
Can we
Oh,
hear the real
Are you
world
gonna try and
all
like
this
throw him out of the
sanctum?
carriage, or?
Well,
It's
distract
a plan of its
a
own.
little bit.
Okay, so what's your? Are you just trying to like mess with him, or is there like another goal here?
Well, let's see. I can always do that.
Don't!
So what are you thinking of doing here?
Well, I was thinking what wall? Just, join him in on his singing a little bit. It's great singing and all that. And I'm going to try and face him through the carriage.
Oh man! All right, let's roll what happens there. This poor Bobby.
So,
Just messing with
No,
him.
he's horrible.
Poor, horrible racist.
I know. Yeah, he's terrible. He's a character from
11.
Penny Opera, by the way, so he sucks. Oh wow! All right, so what's the result? That's a definite success. What happens to Tiger Brown?
so I can, choose an additional option off the list to bring someone with me. And skip situation, I only choose one of those, so I'm just going to choose to bring him with me.
Yeah, I
And
mean with
face
that
him
roll,
out
you can do whatever
So
you
you
want.
just
with him, I
phased
think.
him out of the wagon?
Yep.
So he's just like thrown onto the street. I'm sure other wagons are like rolling past him. There's probably some pig poop falling on him. It's bad.
Sorry!
Bloody hell!
We didn't want you anyways.
Ah!
That was... what? Mr. Ghost. That's a little uncalled for.
I love everyone calls you Mr. Ghost. I mean, it's Victorian age.
Diego.
Sorry, Captain Diego. I'll get that eventually.
And he was a fop anyways. You don't want him on this.
You don't want
Yes, but that is not going to look great for us with the Nemean Lodge. Whatever they're called.
And did they require us to have him?
No, you want to come with us. Anyways,
Not technically.
I open the door, step out of the carriage into the sanctum. You can join me as well.
Okay.
And with Tiger Brown dispensed with, we're going to say you cut ahead. We're going to cut ahead.
Is it actually
to-
nighttime now?
By now, probably, yeah. So you finish your transformation?
and then violence.
Kind of pouring them on her. Or she's got
You,
wolf hands. so she-
you require them, correct?
Huh? No, it was the vials were you need to draw her blood.
But did you need to keep it?
No, it's for Dr. Jekyll.
Okay.
Well then, okay.
So, you guys arrive at the Happy Hound Music Hall. It is pretty raucous, like Whitechapel dive. It's in some state of disrepair. But as always, Mad Molly's packing them in. There's some dancing up on the stage, some singing. Lots of gin and booze being swilled by everybody.
Great.
In this.
What a den of iniquity.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My character is now wearing a red hood.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of hiding your. I mean, you kind of have to. Everyone's gonna be
As
like,
much as she
"What's up
can.
with this
She's,
giant wolf?"
she's 7 feet tall wolf monster, but yeah, she's...
Completely normal person.
And Whitechapel people kind of know to keep
Yeah,
their
the
own
Whitechapel
business.
people know me, so that's like a big thing with her.
Yeah, so it's not too weird. And Whitechapel is this extremely poor, miserable slum of just like these warrens and rookeries of crumbling apartments and just like open air,
Yeah.
like kind of homeless encampments. It's not a great place to be. I mean, Dickensian sums it up, I think. Yeah. So, in the middle of this place, you can see there is actually a rat baiting going on. But these are like some giant, nasty, supernatural rats. Each one probably about the size of a large dog.
Oh.
And they're just
Are you listed?
Are people
Yeah.
like in rat baiting? Are people fighting the rats? Is that, or are they having the rats fight each other?
right now they're kind of the rats just like sort of face off each other and they're kind of taking bets on it.
That's fun.
So
It's
sort
much more enjoyable once they get the beagle out.
of, yeah.
What?
Beagles?
Beagle,
Why would they do such a thing?
Why?
because they're ratting dogs.
I'm
The
assuming the
beagle-
beagle doesn't survive always.
No, the beagle always survives. Rats are scared to death of beagles.
The beagle doesn't always survive.
Okay.
So you guys can see in this music hall, Mad Molly Montclair is kind of holding court. She's like probably sitting at the far end of the bar, throwing back a pint and overseeing her kingdom here. She's sort of a like kind of a stout middle-aged woman, got graying hair, all done up, wearing a fancy fringed outfit, just a little bit out of style.
Right. I take my hood off as I approach her and slap her on the back.
Ah,
Molly Olga, how are you this evening?
rather alarmed now that you've done that, my dear.
What? Why would you be alarmed by me, Molly? We get along famously.
Let's just say your appearances can be a little bit alarming. Please introduce me to your chums.
Yes, this is my flatmate, Isolde.
Hello.
This is Dr. Livingston.
Nice to meet you.
Ah, doctor.
And are you materialized right now?
No.
And that's it.
And tell me, would the doctor or our American friend be interested in some company for the evening?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
In fine company, thank you.
Oh, well, I can promise some finer. Come on now.
Do you have males that work for you now?
Oh, everyone works for Mad Molly. You name
I'm
it, I
fine,
can
thank you.
procure it.
I'm gonna mark corruption to just be heard, not seen.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, would you happen to have any of the spiritual persuasion? I'm desperate, so
Oh man! All right.
So that would be the ghost captain. Something.
Captain Diego.
Captain Diego.
We don't know he's here all the time, so we couldn't know he was here. So
I
we
couldn't
introduced him.
introduce him because I wasn't sure he was around.
To be honest, it's kind of hard to tell at times. He's a ghost.
Doing a werewolf voice with a posh British
Yeah,
accent.
no, I love it. It's
That's
like
great.
I was like,
It's
her
great.
accent has changed. Like, oh yeah, because she changed into a werewolf. It's great. Man Molly says, "Let me see what I can do."
And
Now-
you have more that can accommodate about, say, 50 people on a ship.
Oh, well, that's a challenge, but Mad Molly's always up for a challenge.
I don't know whether to be aroused or terrified.
Do you
Both?
Know, do you know what DVDA is?
No.
Well, it's when there are 4 gentlemen.
Okay, I don't want to know anymore.
I'm okay with not knowing any more of the situation.
Man Molly says, "So, besides arranging some companionship, why have you come to down to the Happy Hound? Take in the music, enjoy some drinks, perhaps a game of chance. We have a wonderful rat bait going on right there.
It is really the best rat bait in the neighborhood.
You've told me this before.
I know, I encourage you every night to
I
come
know.
around.
So many things to read.
It's just, you don't do those things in the colonies.
They rat bait in New York.
I'm sure they rat bait in New York.
I don't know anything about the colonies.
Yeah, you may assume.
Around this time, they're pretty raucous. It's pretty bad.
But I'm sure in England they were just like, America, there's all like cowboys and...
The South is a mess, the West is a mess.
Yes, isn't this whole thing right now that you're fighting about terrible things that you're doing to the,
That was about 20 years ago that wrapped up.
Did it wrap up?
Yes, it did.
How did it go?
Officially.
Well...
But not really.
Technically, my mother is free, so that's a good thing. Yeah, still not great. Still not great. People of African descent, not great for them.
It wasn't great 200
I
years
didn't
ago.
know your character was of African descent.
I mentioned it because I was waiting to reveal it in fiction.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Yeah, she is.
Noticed.
You would have noticed, yes. But it's not something you just introduce. Like, oh yeah, by the way, my character is half.
Well, it's not. I mean, London, because it's like the center of a colonial empire, is super diverse. So
Yeah.
it's not unheard of.
Not unseen.
Yeah.
So my character would blend in.
At any rate, my employer and your employer wanted us to get together to discuss the saucy fellow who's been doing terrible things to the ladies.
Oh.
Jack the Ripper.
Yes.
They presented it as though it's something that I hadn't heard of, as if I'm not the Wolf of Whitechapel.
Mad Molly is.
She says, like, these people know me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm your flatmate.
Mad Molly is very.
I see you over there, Harold. I see you. Looking well.
The Wolf of Whitechapel, yay!
Yeah.
Popular.
Oh, Harold. Can I scratch you behind your ears?
Yes.
Oh, I do love me a scratchy. Ooh. Mad Molly says, well, that is a bit of a different matter, isn't it?
Is there new information that you've uncovered about him?
There may be some I can pass on, but,
Do we want to go to a private room about it?
well, no matter what, if I am known to be talking to you and you're working for the Nemean Club, I take it?
Yes, but so is your boss.
That's fair, but still, there are the authorities, and my reputation would suffer. I'll tell you what, I will make you a deal.
It's on the way.
If one of you can, take a little trip into the pit over there and win me, some dosh, then perhaps I'll change my mind.
All right. Yeah, dosh. Little pretty Polly for your pocket.
Oh.
Gosh. Is that like...
So, what am I going to fight some rats? Because I'll do it.
You're volunteering?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll bet on the wolf.
Ooh. All right.
Rat sounds delicious right now.
So you hop in there, and I'm gonna say there's like 3 or so kind of gnarly ROUSs.
Right.
And remember, like, these rat baits, I'm sure they were fixed all the time. So if you guys want to find some way to sneakily help her succeed.
I do. I'm actually spend one of my hold. I'm going to kind of pat on the back and just like a kind of just like rubbing your back a little bit, and then suddenly there's just this pulse as you get +1 armor.
Nice. That's cool. So now I have +2 armor.
Yes, I can give everybody armor.
Is there
All right.
like an announcer or a microphone anywhere?
It was not. I don't think they
I don't-
mentioned
yeah,
microphones,
they're-
but
they're-
they do
yeah.
got an announcer.
What is that thing?
Like a bullhorn.
Yeah, a bullhorn.
Yeah. Well, I think like Mad Molly kind of serves as the announcer. And you're like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, place your bet. We've got a real special treat for you today. Rats and wolves battling each other at last.
She throws off her cloak like it's some sort of major reveal that she was wearing.
Whoa! Over here, the Wolf of Whitechapel.
Woo!
And against her, 3 of the nastiest rodents the sewers of London have ever coughed up, enlarged by evil science and dark magic. Now they're in the
That
pit,
doesn't work.
pitted against a wolf. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. It promises to be a contest remembered for ages.
Yeah, I'll put some money down on
The great thing is, I actually do fight like a small group.
I know.
And I don't know how those rules work, but
All right,
hey,
I got him in here.
Yeah,
I remember the last werewolf had it too.
Yes, and they're good here.
yeah, it's I think. How's the word?
It's all right here.
You kinda like
Basically,
Well,
I just read these rules like not even 2 days ago.
But this is part of why I posted my sheet beforehand. So
yeah, I got it right here. It's like you unleash an attack. It's your harm and armor. It's basically you can like fight multiple people or multiple giant rats at once.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's see what's happening there. All
Kind
right.
of made her cockney, actually.
Yeah, being a wolf has made a cockney.
Being a wolf turns you into a cockney. You heard it here first.
Scouse.
To be honest, like that probably makes all the Whitechapel people think she's one of them.
Yeah.
But she's a wolf. And
So you cast a spell, Livingston. Are you doing anything to help her, you think, or what? What's your plan here? What are you doing while this battle is going on?
If I had known we were like going to do that, I would have worked out a plan with her.
Okay,
Before
well,
she
I mean, I'm
jumped
sure they
in.
got some. They probably got a little bit of time before they set up here. So. Oh, and I will say,
That's
you
all
noticed
right.
something else. Tiger Brown is appearing in the doorway.
Great. I knew he'd show up.
I definitely would have worked out a plan with her ahead of time. Then, if I saw that before she jumped
Yeah,
in,
you probably got like an eye on the door, so you spot him like coming in.
I would be like, we need to put on a good show, perhaps make it go a little bit longer than normal because we have company we might have to deal with.
I can run interference if you want.
I can do a bit of a distraction. You can.
We're gonna need you.
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that.
Just make them
I love
Anything
how the
but
Americans
that.
like, don't kill the
Make them
policeman.
think they
Don't
might
do
have a
that.
chance.
Terrible idea.
Right.
We're not exactly
It's a-
the good guys.
I know, but still.
If I do this, I
I
can
know.
do something called best laid
Doctor
plans.
Livingston.
Ooh, okay.
It's an accident.
So what's this best lane plan?
When
Which
you
is-
work out a plan with someone, it says you roll mind, and I can do a hold on that. And then as long as while that plan's being carried out, I can add +1s, dismiss
Oh,
harm.
cool. That would give you +1 to your combat.
I'm sure
That's
she
part of the
has
plan.
like certain things.
And
like-
maybe if you're doing some ghostly stuff to help, part of the plan too.
So I'm got +1 to my combat.
All right,
Well-
so let's have you roll, and then we'll maybe depending on how well you can tell me what the
Yo.
you tell us what the plan is.
My dude!
I got new dice out of your bowl, and I
You
rolled
got
another
brand
3.
new dice and you
Oh
rolled
no! All right,
It's a curse.
you try to make it. Maybe this is why Sting's so upset. You made this like great plan,
Encouragement.
and it led to like the Pathans massacring his unit.
Okay, so on a miss, hold 1, but your plan falls apart at the worst possible moment.
Oh,
All
of
right.
course it's gonna fall apart at the worst
So what
possible.
was the plan in
Okay,
general?
so do I still get the +1 forward?
I can hold 1, so I will give you that
Yeah,
one.
you can
One-
still. He'll give
yeah.
it to you.
But I
It's
can
an
only do it once
option.
now.
Yeah,
I can
so
only
it's
do it
still
once.
Oh, okay.
like
so
something. So some good
buckets.
comes out
I
of
could
it.
have up to 3.
It's not all bad.
Okay.
All
so
right.
I'm fighting rats and
Yeah,
that's it.
let's have Diego. Is there anything you want to do before the actual rat battle begins?
My plan is only to do
So,
with that.
let's see. Officers in the doorway. I'm gonna say hello to my little friend. I'm still invisible, but I can be heard. And I'm gonna whisper in his ear. So, how'd you like the trip? And then I'm going to try and distract him. Won't be
Ooh.
ignored. Roll with spirit instead of
You
mine.
got the rolls to
7.
All
To
right.
make success.
still in yes. It's above a 6.
Okay, so badly tonight.
You get to pick 2. He's definitely distracted. I mean, you're rolling not great, but like you're doing enough to get the job done.
So
at
I'm
least.
going to confuse them for some time, and I'm going to create an opportunity.
Okay.
We'll have a bunch of tools.
So he's spinning around. I mean, he's got like probably a club and brass knuckles and all sorts of other nasty
I'm going to laugh
supernatural implements.
as I move away.
Yeah, and he's like spinning around. Who said that? Who wants to catch a beating?
I look at Mad Molly when he comes in and say to her, you should give him one of the special girls. And I'm gonna roll a persuasion at NBC, and because we're in my territory, I get to roll with blood.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna take a persuasion on this because like
Yeah.
he's the. I mean, she pays off to him. Like
I know.
Woo! Oh man, I'm sorry, Dallas. Everybody
I know.
but you is rolling.
That's
It's okay.
So that would be a 14.
A 14. Oof. All right. I'm trying to think of like what would be a good name for an unfortunate lady of the night who is like some. Is that what you were intending? Like give her somebody who was like some VD to.
I thought some of them might have been turned into vampires by this point.
Oh, okay. That's VD, vampire disease. She's like, I believe I take your meaning. I suppose it can be done, but let's be very careful. He's a powerful man, Tiger Brown is, and as vicious as the cat which bears his name. But I'll see if I can send someone his way to distract him. So she talks to one of her more vampiric streetwalkers, who goes over and kind of starts getting in his face and distracting him a bit. And he's distracted.
Yeah.
An easily distractible.
I mean, I feel like they're supernaturally attractive, but also supernaturally strong in case he starts pulling some crap.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was really the idea. Wasn't like, so can you send a girl over there and murder him? It's send a girl over there that can distract him and can fend for herself if he decides to get violent.
Right. So she's like in his face. I mean, she's kind of blocking his view of you guys.
Okay.
But she's still not able to like lead him away. He's still like on the mission of, you threw him out of a carriage, like.
To be fair,
Tiger-
we didn't know anything.
To be fair,
It was the
I'm
ghost.
still like
Yeah. Well,
freaking out.
Tiger Brown wants revenge.
I don't think any of us trust you more.
That's right.
do
We
we?
should show it.
All right.
just a firebrand, aren't you?
I love it. So let's say the rat baiting begins.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give the rats the first opportunity. Let's say you really keep your cool as these three nasty rats
Okay.
charge into attack. One's got one ear, one's
Keep
got
your
no
cool
tail.
is, using
One is just really squeaky, are their names here. So all three of them are piling on there.
That would be a 7.
Okay. Not the worst. I'm going to say you can take 2 levels of harm.
I don't.
Oh, because you have the armor? Yeah, okay, never mind.
Looking out.
That armor is, they're biting into you, but they're just not able to get on.
So one of them is like latched onto my arm, and it seems like a good idea. It's biting into me. I am going to bite into it.
Ooh.
Another vampire rats.
So let's see. So that is for. I can't add. It's 9. Oh my. Oh wait, 10.
Oh man!
Plus
All right,
one
that's the
forward.
end of one ear. Now he's one. Now he's no head.
Right.
I think you just like chomp and decapitate.
Oh yeah. I think she might even swallow it whole like a dog does when it catches a squirrel.
Ooh, I mean they're big, but like
Yeah, but
they're
I'm
big
like a
wolf.
7 foot tall.
So like, chomp, and that's the end of one ear.
And I actually like bite the tail off. Like I leave the tail out and I toss it into the crowd.
Oh, get the tail!
Gross. Very gross.
So Livingston, here's where
the transformation makes me so
here's where
hungry.
the plan goes wrong in the worst possible way. Tiger Brown was perhaps enjoying the company of this vampire woman of the night, but then he happens to just like look over a little bit just by chance, and he completely spots you, and he comes right over. Livingston, I presume.
That's a funny
You like
joke.
that? Oh, so you're with him there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's right in front of you guys now.
Oh,
I'll just
Chap, we
hover
were
around.
wondering what happened to you. You were in the carriage, and all of a sudden you weren't in the carriage when we arrived. It's some magic trick,
Funny
I
thing
assume.
that I believe your ghostly friend was trying to do me in.
I mean, a friend is a very strong word. I don't know if I'd call him a friend personally.
Captain. Titles are titles.
I don't know if I would call the captain a friend.
I'll be sure to call him Captain after I stomp on him. Say, you
Come
got
on,
any?
stomping a ghost.
Yeah, you got any ghost stomping boots in your store, Mr. Tobacconist?
No, but how about a cigarette?
A cigarette. Okay, he's a little dubious, but he'll probably take it. Don't mind if I do.
Please, I insist.
Is it like an exploding cigarette?
No, it might calm him extremely.
Oh man, you giving him some
Strike
hashish?
anywhere match, and then. Yes.
Ooh.
Oh,
This sounds like a distract. Let's have you roll
It's not.
mislead.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was allowed around that Here we go.
Can I help?
Well,
assist
you're a
with
man
this?
of the world. You know, they probably.
Can I assist with this?
How would you do it?
I'm just kind of trying to keep his attention also by interacting in conversation, but taking one of these and also lighting
up. All right, that
showing that it's not dangerous.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense. He was a little wary, I think, but after he sees you light up, he'll calm down.
That's a 13.
Oh wow!
With
Get a plus
mortality,
one.
correct?
+1.
Yes. Oh, be sure to mark mortality if you have.
Probably gonna need it.
All right, we got a +1, and you're rolling.
Oh my god!
You rolled a 3 again. Seriously. Another 3.
How many sets
Five in
of
a row.
dice?
On 3 sets of dice.
This is a
I'm
Rose and
sorry,
Crescent
Liz.
Girls and Skin Our Dead situation.
Is there something you can mark for that?
No, this isn't.
I know. If only this was mass, you would have
I know.
leveled up.
I would have leveled up.
Or monster of the week.
Yeah. Well, some nights it's just like that.
So I guess
Wow.
he coughs terribly on this and doesn't like it or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
or he's like, well, I'd love to, but maybe he recognizes it. He's like, I'm a man of the world myself, and I'd love to partake, but I'm on duty. He just pockets it. I'll have it for later. Meanwhile, let's have
Good try, Doctor.
Let's have our wolf take another bite here.
Thank you for
They're
this.
taking a
I
bite.
tried.
Or, no, you get to go.
Oh, I get to go? Awesome.
Yeah, I figure like we're kind of starting.
Yeah.
I quickly.
Well, flashing back to you in the pits. Will you take a bite and this time go? I'm reversing the order. Oof, how we do? That's
Actually, that's still a 9.
yeah. It looks like one of them was a 6. I saw.
Yep, 6 and a 1.
Okay, so
Average roll.
All right, so you're picking one.
Yeah, so I'm going to say they inflict harm on me because their harm isn't going to pierce my armor.
Okay.
And I inflict terrible harm on them.
All right. What's the harm total?
The harm total on them, I do +2 harm, and then I'm doing an extra 1, so that's 3.
3 harm.
Yeah. Although
Okay.
you let me wolf down that first rat, which was very nice of you.
Yeah. All right. So no tail. It's pretty hurt, but he's still going on.
Oh, okay, so that...
No, I'm sorry. You already ate one ear. No tails of the other. There's 3 rats.
Yeah, I thought...
One ear's gone. R.I.P. One
Yeah.
ear.
I thought
Its tail is now in the audience.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, I'm like, I
And
thought
then
I
there's
ate one
no
of them.
tail.
Yeah. No tail. Just didn't have a tail to begin with.
Right, when I'm fighting as a group, does that mean I do damage to both of the rats?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're fighting as a group too. You know, a rat pack. Squeaky is also taking some
Yeah.
3 damage there. Poor Squeaky.
I just don't know all the rules. of
He's
group
squeaking a
fighting.
lot. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we're kind of figuring it out
Well,
together a
okay.
bit. It's all working out. All right, so these rats not looking so good.
Yeah.
They're going to do some damage to you. I'm going to say, as they're both biting you, you are going to take 1 level of the lower harm.
Okay. So that much makes it
Fade
2
harm.
armor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're both gnawing at you. You can take like rat bites on there.
Yeah.
All right. Captain Diego,
So
you're observing all of this from your ghostly perspective. What's going on with you?
I did.
So the situation with Mr. Brown is not going well, now is it?
I'd say so.
If only I was more corrupted, then I could just possess him.
Oh, great.
That's pretty cool.
That plan is great.
But still, he took the cigarette out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just put it in his breast pocket of his uniform.
I'm going to use telekinesis, and I don't get corrupted for this if it's smaller than a car. But I'm going to take telekinesis and shove it back into his mouth.
Are you using your magic powers to give pot to a cough?
Yes.
Wow.
But this is the good
Kashish at
stuff.
least. All right, let's do it.
Alright, so I figured for that would be let it out. Yeah.
Hi, dice.
Nice. 13.
Went very well.
Whoa.
So I do not get corruption. If I choose to. Take definitive +1 forward. Frighten, intimidate, or impress your opposition. Impressive. Take another whiff at this, Mr. Brown.
Well, it's not lit. It's not lit,
It's not lit.
but I can do that.
There's
I
a
want
good
to
scent.
I want to use my elementalism as as soon as it's mouth to flick it on fire and light it.
Oh, I just remembered. I did the intimacy move with you because I let you in with me while I was transforming.
In the blood.
Yeah, in the blood. So I know I have a bond with you now, and I know where you are until the end of.
Oh,
the
cool.
next session.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Just so you know.
Gotcha.
So for using my magic to light his,
Fun.
light his,
light his cigarillo there.
his doobie.
Breathe
What should I
in
roll?
What was that?
What should I roll for that?
I meant to know that at the time.
Probably spirit.
Okay, so let it out.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Using your powers.
Yeah. Not bad. That's an 8.
Dang, you shut down the conduit. Oh, well.
So, mark corruption. But I'm going to also use it to impress. And suddenly there's just like a flash of fire as it's lit.
All right, I'm gonna say he is able. Just as you caught him in mid-breath, so he does take a big whiff of this, and he's calmed down a little bit here. He's probably forgotten that he's on duty and shouldn't be smoking. He's enjoying it a little bit.
Just like
Maybe he's kind of sharing the rat baiting a bit and putting some money on
So
it.
right now we have a
a
werewolf
good
fighting
shot.
rats and everybody else trying to get a cop high.
yes.
Not trying.
Yeah,
we did do it. It
You
took
have
us 2 rounds to do it, but
successfully
we tried.
got him to puff on that. Mr. Livingston.
Perhaps a beverage would be in order next. I hear the bar is well stocked.
Why not? Mine's running a little bit posh. Thank you, Livingston. Hey, Livingston, I presume. Hey, like Henry Morton Stanley finding him in the
Yes.
wilds. Hey, remember?
I do.
The explorer,
I
he found that fellow in the wilds of Africa, and he said, Livingston, I presume, just like I did, because your name is Livingston too. Little,
do. Rightfully so.
little bit. And people say I'm not funny.
You're quite hilarious.
Oh, thank you. Gives your back a large slap. As he,
I see you are enjoying the festivities.
as he bellies up to the bar.
You see why I didn't want him coming on the investigation? Would you blame me if I wanted to throw him out the window right now?
Don't throw him out the window, please.
I'm not going
Had I
to.
known.
I love her just using your telekinesis just to like mess with people and just cause havoc. It's great.
I applaud your move now.
Meanwhile,
I'll fix your food.
back in the rat pit, let's if you were to keep your cool as these 2 remaining rats try and bite you.
That's an 8.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's a pretty good roll. So like, maybe one of them tries to bite through but doesn't quite pierce your armor, so you're okay.
Cool. I'm gonna bite them now.
All right.
Bite back.
Yeah, maybe both of them.
Rat patrol.
That's another 9.
Nice.
You've
All right.
rolled 7s, and he's only been rolling 3s.
What's the damage there? Livingston, we must do
A
better.
bunch of 6s.
I'm sure you're due for a change of luck.
I'm going to go ahead. I'll inflict terrible harm on them, and I will say that I find myself in a bad spot somehow.
Okay.
I don't know what.
All right. Well, also like if
Because
you
I'm
take
guessing
out.
this disposes of the rats, because they both take 3 harm.
Right. Well, I mean, Squeaky actually had 1 left.
Squeaky. Oh, you named them?
Yeah,
I mean,
what's
if
nicknames,
Squeaky's
really?
the only rat that's still alive, I can say that I take harm from Squeaky, which the armor absorbs too.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, that's what we'll do. So it's just Squeaky's left alive and the other one's dead?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm shaking the other one in my mouth like a dog.
Ooh, just like to snap its neck there.
Blood everywhere.
Yeah. They're like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
They
it's
put
like-
sawdust down. Don't worry.
Yeah.
In Whitechapel, like blood's gonna be everywhere anyway.
Yeah,
They don't
it's
care.
like how,
The blood sport.
they had to give the warning like at the Gallagher concert. It's like, front row is a splash area.
Oh,
How much
man.
goes on? Splash.
I'm
Just
sure we
viscerating
got a
you
splash
guys.
zone here at the Happy Hound. All right, so these rats have been taken out. Everyone's cheering, and covered in blood, you hop your way out of the pit and head over to Mad Molly. So she's like, nicely done, and you earn me a nice little pile of coin as well. And if you bet on her, you also get a little get some prize. Pays off too.
Get some money.
One of them got through. Can you believe that?
Ah,
Losing my touch.
that's troublesome.
All right.
Now,
It's
you
not
were
gonna happen.
asking for a little bit of a little hint of the investigation.
Yeah,
I don't know much about the Ripper himself. I'll ask some of me girls if they've seen anything strange. But I do know a fellow, he's a queer one, who's been involved in the investigation. You actually, you might be his acquaintance,
Oh,
Dr.
no.
Jekyll.
Oh, wrong
yeah.
person.
He's got a
How's the game going,
laboratory.
guys?
Never met
No,
the
the
doctor.
It's laboratory.
He's got a laboratory in Soho in Leicester
Ooh.
Square.
He does.
Sounds like fun.
It's a little out of my territory, but you know.
I think that's okay. We have the rest of us here too.
I don't know. I'm just going full Cockney with her.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, she's saying me. It's like, wait,
What territory?
it's
Go
not
on, kind of yourself.
It's a little outside of my territory, but
No.
So, if you want to know what the police know, and there may be some stuff that he's not telling them, he's a cagey one, our good Dr. Jekyll is, keeps secrets.
he also keeps cages. I've seen him.
So, go visit him in his laboratory and
I can't
tell him
hear
Mad
him.
Maul sent you. Perhaps he'll give you some information, but he may require persuading.
Yeah, I'm ready to persuade him.
I've got that in spades.
All right, so you guys are gonna. Anything else you want to do here in the Happy Hound before you head over to?
Persuade him much better if we brought him over
Can I
here.
have a smack, Molly?
I don't know about that.
Molly.
Oh,
Have fun with
Yeah,
that.
you see our inebriated friend over there? Kind of like drinking
Oh,
his skull.
Tiger Brown. Yes.
Yeah, would you mind keeping him out of the way?
She
Just
says,
make sure he's, not interfering.
I think this will be a persuade because she's very wary for good reason about Tiger Brown. So to do stuff right now, she's going to require persuade.
That's why we don't want him around. 8.
Okay. She's like, I really don't want to try and intrude on a good constable there, but you say so. I'll do my best.
We already do have him high and hanging out with his prostitute.
Yeah, that vampire prostitute is trying to keep him distracted. She says, perhaps you could owe me a debt. We can come to some arrangements.
Or I could just do you a favor.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I could always use a little more security around here for the girls, especially with the Ripper about. You could have maybe your ship dock in some of the canals nearby. Were there canals in Whitechapel? I don't know. I got a map in here, but for our game purposes, there are.
It's a ghost ship.
Oh, that's right. Also, it's a ghost ship.
It
that
can dock
fly.
anywhere
part
it
of the
wants.
public
We can dock,
Yeah.
we can dock inside this entire hull if we want to.
Oh, yeah, exactly. She's like,
Give it some ghostly atmosphere to the
yeah,
wall.
that'd be fun.
I mean,
Halloween
me lads and
buddies.
me lasses won't mind so much. So I'd say, well, yeah, if you keep them busy, we'll have the ship dock here and keep you guys company.
All right, she's okay with that. So you have that kind of arrangement going with her, and now she'll make sure Tiger Brown is distracted.
You're swiping at ghosts.
Yeah.
Blindly, drunkenly, and high.
Oh,
Ghosts!
Besides, it works out for us. I mean, what better place to somewhat experience the pleasures of life?
oh man.
True.
Only,
To watch it.
just
These poor
watching
ghosts.
it.
We gotta get a ghost bordello to help, huh? So let's
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
have one.
Now it's like probably a little bit past. We're like London after midnight. At this
Close to the
point.
witching hour.
Yeah,
And we're going directly into Lancaster Square.
yeah. It's okay. Dr. Jekyll, he burns the midnight oil and works late.
Oh, I'm looking forward to meeting this doctor.
Yeah. So you
Trying
had
to figure out where
to.
like Whitechapel is versus Soho.
Well, I gotta say, Dark Streets. This is the book that kind of like an expansion pack book. It's got. Want to kind of plug this one? It's got 3 great new character classes, including a Frankenstein and a crow and a cult leader and like a scholar.
Which is
all sorts of good stuff, and it's got all these great maps of cities, and like I can see Soho right here, and Whitechapel is right here, so it's a little bit of a journey, but not too bad.
We have a wagon. We have a carriage.
Yeah, but I can't see it.
Oh well, you want to look at this map here?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's a pretty handy map.
Hold up
It's
my
got maps
flash.
of all these great cities for like city games, which is really handy because I don't know anything about London, like King's Cross. So that was really helpful. I mean, as well as Google. So you arrive in Soho, which is a pretty kind of upper middle class area. And in Leicester Square, there were these sort of nice kind of townhouse apartments. You know which one Dr. Jekyll has his lab in. And
It's Leicester Square.
Yeah, Lancaster Square.
yeah. And you guys can so you go outside, this very clean hallway. You knock on the door.
Somewhere so clean in a while.
Even at this hour, yeah, it is very clean. And
It's very clean, man.
oh yes. And I mean, Jekyll this hour is probably sending his servants home, so he he opens it himself, but just peeking it open just a crack, and you see this this nervous, thin, kind of small fellow, pretty handsome in a scholarly, fussy sort of way, wearing like a white suit coat over like a waistcoat. Or no, he'd be in vest and shirt sleeves because he's working. With like the tie very neatly knotted, hair, lots of Macassar oil, very carefully parted. And he's just like timidly peering out. Yes?
Oh my goodness, you know us, Doctor.
But I do?
Henry, old boy, let us in.
Well, I don't know him. But
Nor do I. Hello.
This is
So
Dr.
you're just speaking, or?
This is the Dr. Jekyll I've told you about
Yes.
before.
Yes. It's nice to meet you.
Yes,
I
which
am.
reminds me, Doctor, he took some blood samples mid-transformation, like you were asking.
Oh, yes, that's those should be most illuminating.
Yes, it was a very stressful transformation for me, so the amount of whatever it is you're looking for is probably...
Oh, sounds ghastly. Come on in, please.
I haven't manifested in any other way, so
You're just having your
I'm
voice?
still just heard.
Okay.
I'm
He's
still
like,
just-
is there a fourth fellow with you?
Yeah, that'd be the captain.
Yeah,
Captain Diego.
we have
Oh.
absolutely no choice about him becoming us.
It's not like you could get rid of me anyways.
That's what I'm
I've
saying.
been trying
You have
to.
an option on this.
And I want
I've
you
been
to,
trying
but
to
you've
get
been
rid of you.
failing at it.
Well,
It's been 2 months.
Will he? One question. Will he require a cup of tea?
If you can have a cup of tea that I can drink, I mean...
That a ghost can drink?
That sounds even.
3 for tea.
I wouldn't worry
I'll
about
get it.
him.
I'll put the kettle on.
Well, if he's going to
I
put the
wouldn't mind.
kettle on, do you mind if I do a bit of a fry-up, Doctor? I ate one of these things raw, but I do prefer...
Oh,
You
so
brought the
why?
rat!
Is that a
You
rat?
brought the
Oh,
rat!
how horrid! Do not bring a rat inside my house, please.
They're dead rats.
That's even. Well, perhaps that's not as bad. But
I
that's
thought
still
you didn't
horrible.
notice. Listen, Doctor,
She
as
went raw.
I require a very large amount of protein. And so if I'm not eating these rats, then I'm doing something like eating...
He's gonna require a persuasion.
Okay, I'll do it. Except I want to assist you.
I don't know.
Hey,
about
it's
that.
okay, Doctor. Let her bring this giant dead rat into your house so she
You
can
know
eat
in her
it.
state that this
Two
is
giant dead
quite
rats.
normal.
Two giant. All right. I
Or
think
did you
Diego's
want-
gonna roll the assistant
right.
there, or not Diego. Sorry, Livingston.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
nice.
Come on.
I think it would make more sense for you to roll that.
Oh my god!
I even switched out my dice in my bag.
It's still really bad.
It's
not
three!
same damn number
What?
6 times in a row.
Rotten luck, old boy.
Oh my god!
If only we
I am
were...
trying.
If only we were still in the East End rather than the West End, I would totally be able to do this better.
All right. Well, you're
Sorry.
in fancy land now, so roll
I know.
without this.
So I just toss the two rats out the door, go fine, but if I end up eating one of you, you know to blame.
Please don't eat me.
I would also enjoy not being eaten.
You can try.
Well, then let me eat the rats.
No. So he
Don't be
brings you
outside
in.
when we leave.
You know what, actually, she just gowns them both.
Well, digest them as you talk, I guess.
That's a way of handling it.
Well, I'm very hungry.
So you enter
Did
this.
you want them cooked?
I would have preferred it, yes, but I can eat them raw.
I could have. I mean, setting them on fire is not really cooking them, but.
I would rather you didn't burn rats in my place.
Sorry, yes.
Word
No, you're right.
living.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're very right. You're very right.
So Dr. Jekyll brings you into this atrium, which is the center of his laboratory. You have all these tables full of all kinds of crazy scientific equipment. He's got lots of weird old books,
I don't have
lots
books.
of weird ingredients. He's got like the mummified crocodile dangling from the ceiling.
Ooh.
All sorts of just like he's got the weird, pickled like cow embryos and other embryos of other things, all jarred and canned, set along the walls
Can I?
in this kind of open air area. And he sets down these some nice cushioned armchairs and he gets some tea ready.
Can I peruse the place a little bit? Like investigate it?
Yeah, it's like you want to investigate a place of power.
Never
He's in the
been
wild
here.
faction as well, so
Can I also do that?
Can I was gonna put a name, face to a name.
all right.
'Cause I have no idea who this is.
I think it's okay. So let's have you do investigate, you do investigate.
I'll do
12.
face to name.
Or 12, okay.
He's wild?
Yes. Because he kind of works for the two of them.
God, nothing.
No? Okay.
I rolled a 5 altogether.
So did I.
What question would you like to ask me, Captain? And then
Can I really drink the tea? Does he have that capability to like make things like substantial for spirits?
My question was going to be, how does he Jack the Ripper?
I would say he can't do it like right away, but oh, you think I would just tell you that, like, just solve the mystery right away? Oh, yeah, yes, that's it. Mystery solved. All right, thanks. Bye. No, I'm not gonna. He is not Jack the Ripper.
He's
No, I'm not
He's
asking
Jacques
if
the Ripper.
He is Jack the Ripper.
Ah, all right.
What
Well, maybe I
property
spoiled
is
it myself just there. He's not a suspect.
I rolled a 5 on trying to put it face to a
Considering
name.
we
Okay.
have no idea about Mr. Hyde, because we're not at that level of
You don't know him.
doing this thing.
Yeah.
So,
But he'll have the he might have the
He might have it. He'll be like, he's intrigued by it, so like he'll try and work on it. Maybe over the course of your conversation, he'll like start getting some
Don't
ingredients
do it.
ready to brew up some ectoplasmic tea. Livingston.
Yes. So we're trying to get information, right?
Yes.
From Jekyll.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I'd hate to do it, but I almost feel like, is it possible to say, "Hey, old chap, a favor, perhaps"?
Yeah, you can do that.
This
'Cause
is,
you-
this is
He
my
has
move,
a debt with you.
and he has 2 debts with me.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to
You want to cash in one of those?
cash
debts.
in one because I definitely need this plus 3.
All right, it gives you that nice +3. So maybe you roll really low.
I might still. Who knows? We'll see. All right. So
All right, and debt is cashed in.
finally,
Oh, the bad luck streak broken.
That's 10. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Is that actually your first not 3?
I know, the first not fail.
He rolled.
Not just not fail, not 3.
Yeah, not.
I think he
6 threes in a row.
Yeah.
Wow.
6 threes in a
How
row since the start of the game.
unlucky. How unlucky.
What are the
I was looking at
odds?
the stats for that. That's what I was looking up when you.
Bad.
Yeah.
The odds
With
are
different
bad.
dice too.
Yeah.
That's why he got the applause.
But I'm glad to know the streak is broken. What's the result for that?
All right,
one?
so on a hit,
With a
that's
nice
a 10. So
Yeah.
they offer me comfort and aid, even if it exposes them to danger or retribution. So,
okay.
Basically, I'm asking, tell us anything and everything you could possibly help us with this
Okay.
scary fellow who's terrorizing.
He's like,
Jack the
oh
Ripper.
yes,
Yes.
The Ripper.
the Ripper business, frightful, and the police have actually asked me to help with the autopsies, but there's some facts that I noted that I rather kept to myself, but I will tell you, given our friendship. I do so value our friendship.
Same old chap.
It's
Anything that
important
would.
to have friends.
Yes. what I discovered is that the Ripper is indeed a butcher, and there's some skill to it, though. I suspect he may be one of our profession, a surgeon. But there's
Indeed.
something else at work as well. He's a surgeon who cares very little for his patients, and what he removes, it actually struck a chord with me, a certain coincidence of books that I studied in my youth regarding surgical and mortuary practices from ancient civilizations. Some of the organs that he was removing were those involved in rituals related to ancient Egypt and the preservation of the pharaohs.
They mummified. They're probably for mummification.
Yes, they may have been. I mean, it's not entirely an exact copy of what would prepare the pharaohs for their voyages to the underworld. But I could perhaps tell that this Ripper character is an amateur at that art, but he was perhaps trying in some way to remove organs that would be preserved for those rituals. Or perhaps for other rituals of a dark import that I could certainly not fathom.
No.
Who could?
However, my curiosity is who would have studied such things? Or-
Well, I'm afraid,
This is a weird thing to ask, but since my character has had a lot of relations with Dorian Gray, would I be able to roll on that particular faction to figure out if, like, this whole Egyptology thing is something in their purview?
yeah, I think it's okay. Why don't you roll wild, and we'll see how you do. Because, like, maybe
Is it
you roll...
wild or power?
Oh, I'm sorry, power.
Okay.
Yeah, my mistake.
That's okay. I'm gonna roll power.
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe like if you roll high, like really high, he might have brought this up as pillow talk.
No.
No.
All
She
right.
has
Dorian
failed.
Gray is not for pillow talk.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I
He is,
By the way, I just leveled up.
Nice.
I leveled up
No
without
wasted
succeeding a single time on a faction check.
One of the great parts of Urban Shadows there.
Not a single success.
But yeah, he does mention that, like, yes, I'm afraid the only ones in London at the moment with an interest in Egyptology, or at least the most pronounced interest, would be the esoteric Temple of Thoth. And they're rather scary fellows, all those mummies and so forth. I don't dally with them.
I'm well acquainted.
Oh, perhaps you could ask them.
Yes.
And at this moment, actually, something else kind of troublesome happens. There is a very loud, insistent knock at the door, in an Irish accented voice. Oh boy, another accent time.
It's fine.
Doctor, he's in trouble here. Dr. Jekyll says, "Oh, just a moment. I was expecting another guest. I'm terribly sorry."
Oh,
That's
sorry for us
okay.
intruding. We apologize.
I-
We had no idea.
Because like this gets her alarmed, I'm gonna roll let it out to heal because I just took the move of regeneration.
Oh, nice. All right. That looks pretty good from what I can. Well, maybe not. I didn't
It's
see
a
the one there.
7.
All right, something.
So I
Fair
take
pass.
a corruption
All right, so he opens the door,
because when you let it out, you fail. You
Yeah.
take or get a 7, you take a corruption.
and the fellow who enters is Skin the Goat Gulliver. He is a lean Irishman with like red sideburns, a little bit thinner than Sir Titus's mutton chops. I realize like all I'm doing for characters that are men are describing their facial hair.
That's fine.
Like I love it.
I
Like,
mean,
it's
I
all
feel like
it's
that's
all
pretty
beards,
accurate for
mustaches,
Victorian London.
mutton chops,
Very big,
sideburns.
very big
Yep.
cuts. Yeah.
Great
I
facial hair.
attempt to hide.
This is really. I mean, you're a huge wolf. How are you going to do that?
I don't know, but I feel like I might alarm this fella.
That's true. Why
Okay.
don't you roll escape a situation?
I can just phase you through the building. for a
Oh.
bit.
No.
No?
Okay, never mind.
Very well.
Roll, yeah, why don't you roll escape a situation?
At it.
She does not want to be dragged.
I mean, I won't. You don't
It's like, oh,
necessarily.
there's a wolf in the air in Soho. That's going to be much less noticeable.
You don't want to like leave, do you? But you do want to hide. So we'll,
I want to hide, yeah.
Okay, but I'll still count the escape for the hide.
Well, that's a 7. So
Okay.
I get to choose 2 of the bad things. I guess.
I'm gonna say maybe you could harm. You could suffer a little bit of harm. You could, or actually, well, you could end up in a dangerous situation. Maybe like as you're trying to back up and hide, you upset a beaker of something that's really
Yeah,
bad.
why don't we do that? And
Okay. Uh-oh. Great.
let's see. And that startles me, so I give into my base nature and mark corruption.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're like backing up trying to get out of there, and you accidentally upset a tube of some weird glistening green material, which starts coming down, and this like weird smoke starts sizzling up, filling the room, and you can see some like strange tentacle silhouettes waving within.
Oh boy.
Because I've given into my base nature, I attack the tentacles.
All right, we'll get back to that. Dr. Jekyll has not seen this. Thankfully, his back is to this because he's opening the door and letting Skin the Goat Gulliver in.
Vanish.
Skin the Goat Gulliver is Skin the Goat's not. It's just a nickname. However, he is like a.
He is a goat skinner by profession and inclination.
It might be. His actual name is Ignatius, and he's of the Tuatha. So there's definitely something otherworldly, not human about him. He's. Yeah, you probably could like. You're not maybe sure what exact variety of fairy he is, but you can see like weird Gaelic tattoos under his kind of open collar as he's striding in.
Would I know who he is or know what the symbolism is of his tattoos are?
Why don't you all put a face to a name for that one? See if you do. So roll with the faction of Wild.
Oh my god.
10.
Oh,
Here we
yes.
go. Finally coming up.
I
Here we
know,
go.
the streak broke, and now it's going to be all 10 to 12.
The streak is over.
So what was
Okay.
it? His faction?
His faction is wild.
Okay, yeah, that's 10 flat. All right.
All right, so you actually probably dealt with the Tuatha before. Maybe you had a tour in Ireland, like, and the Tuatha they're the wild faction in London at this moment. A lot of them are of like Irish extraction, but they're really kind of magical creatures from all over the world that England has colonized. So naturally, a lot of them got a beef with the British Empire. And the Irish spirits certainly do. A lot of them were purged during Cromwell's time when he took over that area and sort of declared war on everything magic. So they've definitely got an axe to grind. But
Gotcha.
and Skin the Goat Gulliver, he does have that axe to grind is pretty strong, but he kind of tempers it with some pragmatism as well. Like he's trying to protect the Irish and supernatural Tuatha community in London, so he doesn't necessarily want to he's not a total Fenian, but he could easily go there. Yeah, so he's storming in, and he comes in after Dr. Jekyll's trying to explain to him. He's getting pretty angry about this, and he's like, "You'll come in here, bothering the good doctor, enlisting him in some crusade dealing with a murderer, making him give up confidential information. It's not all right. I want you to leave him alone, and I want you to leave." And then he notices these tentacles coming out there.
I'm actually going to roll a die for, even she sticks with her idea of attacking the tentacles, odd she attacks this guy for being a dick.
Do you guys want to give her a word of...
That's the tentacles.
Alright, so you rush over and start snarling at the tentacles. You're kind of neck and neck battling with them. What are the rest of you guys doing?
We're just following. We're trying to capture a murderer, and we're trying to chase down every lead we have. Sorry, we didn't mean to intrude on anybody's territory. We're just, as another intellectuals to each other, trying to work out a great mystery of our world.
He's like, capture a murderer, you mean Mr. The Ripper over in Whitechapel?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, let me tell you, there's a much worse murderer running about in the world. John Bull is his name. He's killed millions.
Who?
Who's John Bowles?
John Bull is like England's kind of Uncle Sam. So it's like sort of their mascot. It's the personification of England.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. I'm an American,
She's
so
still
don't worry.
focused on the tentacles.
I'm an American, so I don't care much for John Bull. So
one of the few who have flung off the yoke of the British Empire.
yes,
My hat's off to you, sir.
and hopefully the Irish do it soon. As well.
Oh, yes.
I mean, my beef's more with the Spanish, but I can make an exception for the English.
Now we can make an exception for the English.
So he's coming around a little bit. How's the fight going with the tentacles there?
Well,
I just imagine in the background it's
never-
like the wolf and these weird tentacles.
do you actually want me to roll against the tentacles, or are they just insubstantial?
Well, I saw you were rolling something, so it seems
Well, I
like-
was rolling every time he insulted England.
Oh.
To whether or not he attracted my attention.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Did he get your attention?
He did finally.
All right,
But
well, let's
I don't
have.
know. There would be 2 rounds of her fighting tentacles.
All right, well, let's have you do one against the tentacles,
Yeah, I don't.
and then I want you to roll persuasion. Well, actually, you were trying to assist him, I think. Or you
You
just
assist with the persuasion?
yeah? Was that what was going on there?
No, I was just making comments.
Okay,
you
that's
assisting
fair.
with the
Making
tentacles?
conversation.
You could give her or maybe Livingston can give her some assistance against the.
That's what I was probably gonna.
All right, let's have you roll persuasion on Skin the Goat.
Great, that's a 10 flat.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, with that, so he's definitely calmed down. He's like, well, perhaps you're not such a puppet of the
I should
Nemean
note
Club
that
after all.
The inside.
I honestly
of
didn't know they
her,
existed until I met them today.
The
that's
inside
fair.
of her cloak has a Union Jack in it.
Of course it does. I've been here for a couple of months, so
All right, well, he won't attack you guys now. How about you were going to assist her with those weird tentacles?
Yes. Would I have any insight as to a counter thing that would be on his table, like a potassium chlorate would counter
Why don't
whatever's
you roll
in there to.
the equivalent of investigate a place of power? So
Yes.
roll with his faction, which is wild.
Plus 0, and
No.
that's a
Okay.
6.
Oh no, the bad luck
Dang,
spec.
dang, dang.
Yeah, it all just
So
looks like
bad.
crazy science gobbledygook to you.
So I'll attack the tentacles.
Okay.
Okay.
I very much attack the tentacles.
Yes, you do.
For a minute, I thought you were attacking the guy.
How much damage there?
Not for 2 turns. Let's see. I'll choose to inflict terrible harm.
Break across the
Yeah.
floor.
All right. Well, I will say these tentacles are kind of like
And,
ethereal, so
yeah.
you're not quite able to get a solid purchase on them, but the force is like kind of pushing them back, and they start heading back into the beaker. So now it sort of just needs to be corked, and they might go away for
It's so
good.
cartoonish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go.
It's like,
I mean, should I roll an attack to cork it?
Well, I think.
Oh, you need
Captain
to be
Wensley.
corked. Telekinesis. I'm just gonna get a cork off the shelf and just
All right. Why don't you roll for the telekinesis there?
let it out. Snake eyes.
Oh no! All right. What do you think goes wrong there?
I accidentally used too much force with it, and it goes flying past into the guy's face.
Into skin the goat.
And to skin the guy's face.
Oh man, he gets
Sorry.
real upset.
That was a mistake.
He's like, "You lured me in here with talk of American Irish patriotism."
That was an accident. I promise you.
His hands go down and start
And I'm
glowing
not
with
sure.
a green, like St. Elmo's fire kind of energy.
It's
He will-
a cork. Why are you getting so mad about a cork?
Someone will need to roll to calm him down.
Is his faction wild?
Yes.
I would like to roll him wild to see if, now that I've noticed him, whether or not I've ever seen this guy before.
Okay, so you're rolling put a face to a name.
Yeah. I might have. That's a 10. So yes, I did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You probably actually have.
Yeah.
Maybe in Whitechapel, like Whitechapel's got a pretty big Irish community.
It does.
So you might have seen him hanging out with some of the more magical members of that community.
10 plus, I've dealt with him before.
Yeah.
I can learn something useful, or they owe me a debt. I don't think you'd go so far as to say he owes me a debt. Right? Or can
Yeah.
he?
What's that?
Can he owe me a debt?
That's one of the options. You think you want to go for that
yeah,
one?
I would love to do that. So maybe I
Ooh,
shouldn't have been
okay.
hiding from him this whole time.
That's possible. Maybe like you end up saving his life. He was like he ran afoul
Yeah.
of some nasty like 2 Othel hunters who were trying to beat him up with some iron weapons, and you
I mean,
saved him.
if I see a group of people attacking one person, that's probably what I would do. So yeah. So he owes me 1 debt for saving his life. I forgot his name again.
It was Skin the Goat Gulliver.
Also known as Ignatius.
Nuts.
Yeah,
Ignatius.
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 Ignatius is his real name. Everyone calls me Skin the Goat.
Mr.
Rolls
Skin,
right off the tongue, it does.
Mr. Skin the Goat, calm down. It was a complete total accident. We apologize for any slight and offense we may have given you. He was trying to do something back there, and our ghostly friend is not great with his aim.
Yes, you understand. It's a laboratory. It's dangerous sometimes.
I would take offense at that, but I'm gonna let it go.
Hi. Through the door, I couldn't recognize your voice.
Oh, it's the Wolf of Whitechapel.
Yeah, I'm at the West End tonight. Thought I might take in a show.
Well, you've
In that
certainly picked an odd venue. You want to roll Persuade?
Yep.
All right.
That's a straight 8.
Okay. He's like, all right, I can see you meant no harm, but I don't want my friend here being drawn to something that will endanger him.
No, of course not. We don't want
I'll
to
tell you this. You learned what you learned. Now get out.
Do you?
I
The one thing
Yes.
that I've been very curious about is whether or not any of you have found any possessions of his. Has he ever left anything behind by accident?
You mean
Actually-
Dr. Jekyll, or who are you?
The Ripper.
The Ripper.
maybe blood, hair, something.
He's like,
Be very
I'll talk to my
useful.
people about it, because we want the Ripper caught as much as you do.
You can try to track him down.
Well, I mean, if I can get any possession of his, then
Oh, the old bloodhound, eh?
exactly. Actually, if I could also, or
Gotta
if
do
I
some
could
tracking
get
magic.
him to any of the people that he's murdered, I might be able to. I mean, provided that they're relatively fresh, as gruesome as that is, I might still be able to get his scent off of them.
You can, well, I wouldn't be the one to arrange that. But I'll see what I can do about finding something he left behind. Though, once again, I'm pretty far from the police.
Yes, so we might need to persuade the coppers to let us into the next investigation site.
Oh yeah, well, we've made real friends with tigers, so I'm sure that's gonna go.
I don't know. He's having a great time right now. He may love us for this.
He'll not remember the next day or today or any day.
Dr. Jekyll says, "Oh, there is actually one more thing that may be of interest to you." And he brings out an invitation to a ball that's taking place tomorrow night at the Esoteric Temples of Thoth's headquarters. I gotta decide where in London they'd be based. It's a very fancy-looking invitation with, like, an Ankh and a Pharaoh.
Would I already have one?
Yeah, you probably already got one, but he's got, like, a few others.
Yeah.
He's like, I was on the guest list, and I'm sure you can all accompany me, at least you two, and I don't think our ghostly friend really requires an invitation. Oh, and there's...
He might. The temple's kind of warded.
Is the temple,
Oh, that's fair.
Well, you've been in the temple, and you've been in the temple. Is the temple going to be all right with me? Because I imagine this fancy dress party will happen in the middle of the night.
He's like, well, it coincides with a mummy unwrapping, so perhaps they'll turn a blind eye to the wolf among them. Oh, and Mr. Ghost, there is something else for you. And Dr. Jekyll gives you a spot of ectoplasmic tea.
Oh, my word. I'm not manifested. I can't touch it.
I'll
Or
pick
can
up,
I?
Pick up the
I
cup.
think you can.
No, this is a ghost tea. He killed the tea, and this is its ghost. You can drink the ghost tea.
How did you even manage to accomplish
You don't want to ask the question.
That's by the way,
quite
my quote
accomplished.
for the night. He killed the tea.
He killed the
and
tea.
now
He
it's a
killed-
ghost.
Dr. Jekyll says, like, in a voice that isn't his, like, I just let my dark side out for a little.
I'm going
Okay,
to...
I am unnerved.
And I think with that, we'll call this session to a
Wait.
close.
I'm going to drink the tea. What happens?
It's an excellent spot of tea.
I haven't drunken tea in 200 years, mate.
Oh, man.
It's a long
Thank
time
you
to go without
very
tea.
much. Now, if you can, I'm going to be sending me crew over here. Like a lot.
Ooh,
We
okay.
could just give one of us the recipe. We could make it for him to leave you at peace.
He might prefer that.
If you can do tea.
I think I can brew the tea.
All right.
Or, Doctor, you could always find a way of preventing ghosts and then let us know about it.
Another possibility.
So do my research on that as well.
But I think with our talk of ghost tea, we're going to draw this episode
Ghost tea!
Ghost tea to a close. Let's take care of those final moves. The session end. So, let's start with going the opposite way, starting with Isolde Lefay. So first of all, I want to know, did any of your factions go up or down?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think anything really happened that really changed my view of what's going on. I mean, I'm a little concerned about the whole mummification thing, but then again, it's not like an actual mummification ritual.
Yeah.
They're just taking things and it's just like,
So the
they
Temple
could
Talk
have
be
learned that
involved.
anywhere, but
That is true.
they could have learned that anyway. But the temple might know or have some record of what these things might be used for. So I'm keeping an open eye about it, open mind about it.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, does you think anybody owes you or you owe anybody else?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Not this particular moment. Still
Yeah,
too
but
early
you're
to tell.
working you think you're pretty simpatico with everybody.
Yeah.
How about Livingston?
I think Jekyll being a true old friend would increase the wild.
Oh, that makes sense.
He did. I mean, this is my only role that worked.
Yeah.
So,
You kind of got to go for that one.
so he,
All right, you can bring Wild up one. Which one's going down as a result of that?
and then possibly the power because of the connection that he told us.
Yeah,
that
they're
is
not
possibly
looking. Temple
connected to
Tal's
them.
not looking so good. At this
No,
point.
it's unknown, but unknown is fearful. So,
That makes sense to me.
um,
And does anybody owe you a debt, or do you owe anybody a debt? You think?
Well, I hope to not run into Sing again, but we'll find out what happens with that. I don't think any of those. Did any of those fails really incur anything from you?
No.
No, it was just more like the situation didn't work out.
Yeah, you just kind of put your whole group in
A
peril. I don't know, but
plan
I
individually.
think this one I
messed
actually
things up.
avoided occurring deaths.
Ooh,
Or
all
those.
right.
I think so. I just want to make sure I'm fair on that. Yeah.
That reminds me, did we ever put the cork back on that beaker?
Oh, I think Jekyll was able to
Yeah.
Okay, good.
take it over
his
himself.
own.
Yeah, it's his labby and mandle it. Maybe a little Mr. Hyde strength came through to help him handle it at the end. How about Roxanne?
I cannot see any reason that any of her factions that she currently has a 1 with would have gone down.
Okay.
Because she has a 1 with mortality, a 1 with night, and a 1 with wild. She has a -1 with power. So, like, if there's some way of raising power without dragging anything else down, maybe, but no. Like, there's no reason to change her factions.
All right.
Because
thank you.
I feel like she was getting along well with night and, mortality.
That's fair.
I mean, and wild, because now she knows somebody else
Yeah.
is wild. So
I thought you and Skim the Goat were going to have it out, but
right,
it worked
no,
out
but then
there,
I
yeah.
wrote put a face with the name, and she likes him. So she apparently they joke around about like, your country is totally oppressing my people. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, good times.
And you're an American, like, yeah, hopefully they get their freedom one day.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, a nation once again.
Someday parts of it will. And they'll do pretty badly for a while still, and then they'll do better. And then they'll do badly again.
And
Ireland.
then they'll do okay.
Uh-oh. All right.
Sorry, my last name's Cahill. I'm allowed to say these things. Let's see. Oh, well, what else was there? Oh, debts. No. People tried to help her and failed repeatedly.
I don't know. I gave you some of that armor.
That's true.
How about our
I think
Captain
it's more
Diego?
like, it's like, you're my friend. I'm going to help you out there. I don't want you to die or get hurt.
So, Wild's gonna be going up by 1 because Dr. Jackal has delivered something to Captain Diego that he's not felt in
Yeah, that was a
hundreds
real.
of years.
I'm
that was a
sorry.
touching scene.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Well,
Well,
sorry,
no, maybe
but
that's
hey,
because he brewed him some ghost
If you
tea.
had stuck around Whitechapel, I could have helped you with something that you haven't felt in a couple hundred years.
Aw.
like what?
Oh no, it's a mystery. Where were we hanging out?
Yeah. Besides, you took too long, and somebody came up with it first.
Okay, that's fine.
No offense.
No,
but, you know,
no,
it's
none
like
taken.
that. And mortality is gonna go down by 1 to -1 because I can't believe they actually let this competent.
Yeah, you and Tiger Brown we're going at it.
I mean, honestly, if anything, my relationship improved with Tiger Brown because I'm the only one that didn't dig with him in any conceivable way that he knows of.
I mean, that's fair. Like you were the only one you were kind of too busy finding rats to be messing with the policeman.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I
Anything.
was messing with it by sending a prosy over his way, but still.
Yeah, he didn't know about it though.
Yes,
Yeah.
All good.
I just lit his opium doobie.
no. Not that
dick
deep.
with
Nothing but
the
respect
big
for our constables, I guess.
The bubbies.
Constabulatory lives matter. Oh boy,
Yeah.
I had to, yeah. Do they? Yeah.
And
When there's constabulatory duties,
There's no constables in America.
And no one
A
really-
policeman's lot is not a happy one.
no one really owes me a debt, but I did share a moment of intimacy with Dr. Jackal. You know, that whole emotional thing. So I have +1 hold with him. Whenever he's in trouble, I just can teleport right there.
Oh,
Oh
interesting.
yeah, that reminds me. I had an
I'm sure if with Dr. Jekyll that will go well.
I had an intimacy move with Dr. Livingston.
Oh, yeah,
He
you
was
saw you
taking my
transform.
blood, yeah.
Took the samples
Saw me
there.
transform. So he already knows about that, but it means for the next game I know where he is at all times.
Ooh. All right, and with our next game,
I can smell your funk
when we
across
visit the
skin.
esoteric temple of Thoth for a mummy unwrapping party.
This would be fun.
Yeah,
Are you my mummy?
I know.
Are you
it's
my
You,
mummy?
my mummy.
Are you
Mummies.
my mummy?
Lots of great mummy times.
Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for tuning in and
Yes.
hanging out with us. Oh my gosh, great start of this arc. I had some favorite moments. I know everybody had theirs, but when he was announced as Mr. Ghost,
Yeah, everybody's gonna try and call you Mr. Ghost.
Mr.
from now on.
Ghost.
Captain Captain Diego.
Captain Ghost.
Captain Ghost Diego
I mean,
something.
I don't have the
Hello,
hat,
Captain
but
Diego.
Mr. Captain Diego Ghost.
Ghost Diego, Captain Mr. Diego, Ghost.
And all I could
That's number one.
Ghost, Ghost, Mr. Ghost to go.
all I could visually see is Roxanne in the background dealing with rats, then tentacles. Like
Yeah, there's
just in the background, just doing stuff.
I feel
but,
like there's
everybody's
the-
having a conversation.
Yeah.
She's back there.
I feel like if it's nighttime, there are going to be background werewolf fights at all times.
So I really got a kick out of that. And just to Pierce, the storytelling tactic of rule of 3 does not mean dice. Just by
Blame the
definition,
dice.
the rule of 3 does not mean dice.
Man,
You
that
don't
was
blame
good,
the
right?
dice,
Three's
blame
good,
the
right?
dice.
Did not like you at all.
I mean, and he changed out his dice. It was bad.
That was amazing.
Three
it's gonna be
resets.
like other dice.
That has to be some sort of record. Okay, but other than that, I really enjoyed the premiere. Thank you so much.
He was doing better by the end.
Yeah, but holy cow,
It broke.
that rule of
Curse
three
is
is
like-
God.
It's over.
6 in a row.
Yeah,
Frozen
cyclical
dresses
error.
in our dead.
So, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure and check out the Magpie. Make sure and check out those links. magpiegames.com/shop. Shadows T2T to get you all those discounts, the 20% off.
Worth
So,
it.
we will see you next week.
Next
Let's
Tuesday.
ride through this. Let's pump through this. This is really good.
It's going to
I'm
be
really enjoying this.
continuous. We're not going to have a break.
Yes.
I do
I think we're
like-
just
The
riding
one
through
shot
it.
will be a little bit later in the.
I've got to say, Roxanne's one of my favorite characters I've played in a really long time.
No, this is
awesome.
solid. I'm
also
having a really
enjoying
good time
playing,
just
this
just sitting here
yeah,
and
there's
watching.
some cool like
So-
trickstery wizard stuff and some.
Yeah, well, we all got along right away.
I
Like,
know,
we all
it was
decided,
no-
like, we all know each other. Screw this shit.
Completely 180 from the first arc.
Yeah,
We're just
like-
like at each other's throats from the
Nobody
moment.
was butchering each other.
yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
trust
the last one where I wanted to kill all of you Papist Sodomites.
I swore, like at the very beginning, like I'm pretty sure we're all have to fight. The final boss isn't something that Mike came up with. It's fighting Goody Fruit.
It's something that's-
She's the final boss. Just drop one person, drop the second.
No, she was seriously the worst, and that's why a big part of Roxanne is like
one-shot
she's
us.
got ties to all the factions and she likes all of them.
Yeah, it's cool to like mix it up. You make something everyone hates. You make something everyone likes.
No, it's solid. I'm really enjoying this.
So Goody Pruitt was pretty good at the end. I gotta say.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure and check things out, and of course, until next Tuesday, you make sure and pull up a chair
And make time to tabletop.
All right, guys.
Oh,
Oh yes. Howl it
Roll any
out,
threes.
please. Howl it out.